back in business. Oh, good evening, good afternoon, whatever you want to call this time. I'm into Rivera alongside a very special panel this week of Miss Witchy Perfect,
Woo!
Alex Knight, and Snow Himbo.
Yeah.
That's right. How we doing, everybody? Got a lot to talk about. So,
Doing fine.
good, good, good.
And by
Hey,
the way,
everybody.
bad cookies. I'm hoping he'll hear it more than 20 times. So suck a dick.
There we go. That's number one.
Woo! I'm on a roll now, baby. Let's do it.
I am debuting my ugly Christmas sweater.
Um,
Check how fucking Canadian is this shit. Look at it. Makes me look blocky, but I think that's mostly genetics.
And for the first time for
Hell
the
yeah!
show, for the first time for the show, you guys can see my new chair. So,
We can
What?
now, little brother. What?
Yeah, that is a new chair.
yeah.
Indeed.
It looks
Yeah, so-
comfortable. Is it comfortable?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, there you go.
so
We got
we got a lot
comfortable
to
today.
talk about from the EU insisting on kamikazing themselves from preparing for war with Russia, which have no chance of winning, to the to why am I forgetting what to talk about? Sorry.
Macy.
Oh yeah, I remember now. The U.S. Army's latest PSYOP, which we're gonna get to.
We can also talk about the failure of Valentina Gomez.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that, but yeah, take your word for it.
You guys know who she is, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I just didn't know what was going on. Oh, we got
No.
5 likes in 5 minutes. So
I liked another one.
They're waiting. They're definitely waiting for the topless, the topless stuff. Hey, you get 40 likes. 40 likes,
So-
baby. 80 likes me and Snow going mud wrestling.
No,
Is that what you said?
Steph. They're waiting for some hot lesbian action.
There's no
No.
lesbians here. Dippy.
no. Anyways, I do want to
Oh,
update a
yes.
story we did last week because we talked about media buying up media last week.
Hey,
And
John.
I thought at least that Larry Ellison will end up with WBD and WBD. Instead, it turns out Netflix. They came to agreement with Netflix for $82.7 billion.
Yep.
So
And
now,
we were talking online in AEW. They're cooked. Their days are numbered.
yeah. So this is, where is it? Somewhere here I saw it. Unless here it is. So this is what they're acquiring: Warner Brothers, New Line Cinema, DC Comics, Warner Brothers Pictures Animations, HBO Max, CNN, TNT, Discovery, TBS, TLC, True TV, HGTV, and so much more. Because that's not just it. That's just some of the examples
So
of what
can I
Warner
say
Brothers
it now? It's
Discovery
na
owns.
na 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 na. Hey hey hey. Goodbye AEW.
So for HBO Max users like myself, am I getting like Netflix content?
I have no clue.
I don't know, honestly. That's far too soon to
I think
you
part of
know,
this.
and-
I think part of this is they're trying to remove like as many like community sort of elements of everyday life than they can, because don't forget, like, a big portion of meeting people and interacting is stuff like going to a movie theater. They don't want that. They want everybody in their homes They
Mhm.
want the total. They want us isolated with absolutely no sense of community, and
Right.
the fact that
That-
they are consolidating media to this level means that pretty soon, you're just gonna watch. So a movie's gonna come out and it's gonna premiere, and you're just gonna be able to watch it on your television. There's
Right.
not gonna
Like
be
they're
Yeah.
doing
movie
on.
theaters.
Aren't they doing that on Paramount Plus now? Like if a movie comes out from like Paramount, it just goes on Paramount for like such a money. You can rent it, you can buy it. They even have you can rent a movie. You can rent a movie. It's
Yeah,
like,
they
what the
want
fuck is wrong with you people?
Yeah,
This is
they-
Blockbuster.
They want us all to be just bug people who never leave the home. They want us to
Right.
be bug people who just kind of sit there like little goblin blobs, because they don't want us talking to each other. They don't want us
Right.
organizing. They don't want us getting together because they know that our strength is only going to be in numbers. And this is another example of them just wanting to
1,
consolidate
2,
as much
3.
media as
Okay.
possible.
That's annoying. I got 8 times with these
Bots.
bots
Ugh.
in the chat.
Stupid kickbot.
Anyways, in
Absolutely no.
watershed-
You will owe nothing, be happy, and eat sea bugs. Go ahead, Angel. I'm
Right.
sorry.
I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but in a watershed move, Warner Brothers Discovery said Friday's agreed to sell its movie, television, and streaming assets to Netflix in a deal valued at $82.7 billion,
Billion.
setting
damn
the
it.
stage for one of the most sweeping and consequential mergers in modern Hollywood history. If approved by federal regulators, which it will be, by the way, the transaction
Of course it will.
promises to
Mm-hmm.
create a new entertainment and media behemoth, untying the world's largest streaming destination, uniting the world's largest streaming destination with a storied 102-year-old film studio.
Yeah, but bad cookies. How does that differ from Greg interrupting Snow? Greg interrupts Snow all the time. I know. I watch their segments.
Yeah. Warner
It's
Brothers
okay. I'm
portfolio-
used to it.
Warner Brothers' portfolio includes HBO, the HBO Max streaming platform, the Harry Potter movie franchise, Netflix, home of Stranger Things, and the Squid Game reaches more than 300 million paid subscribers over 190 countries. Our mission will entertain the world, blah, 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 bullshit, combining Warner Brothers' incredible library of
Bullshit.
shows and world. From timeless classics like Casablanca and Citizen Kane to modern favorites like Harry Potter and Friends. By the way, Harry Potter's
That's
nothing
all they
on
could name,
Casablanca
Harry
and
Potter
Citizen
and
Kane.
Friends. That's all they could
Yeah,
name.
yeah. With our cultural defining titles like Stranger Things, K-pop Demon Hunters, I don't even know what that is, and Squid Games, we'll be able to do that even better.
Somebody say
And
Demon
for
Hunters.
those who don't know, Stranger Things is the show with that Zionist actor who said that Zionism is sexy. So, for those who don't
I
know,
have no idea who Stranger Things is, or K-pop, or Key-pop, or
Yeah,
whatever
no,
the fuck
I
it's
know what
called.
Stranger Things is
Or
because
Squid
it's
Games.
like
I've never even heard of that.
it-
Some
it's-
kind of
it's
Korean
That
thing.
was that was
Is
a
that
great
thing?
that was a great move by that guy because he essentially was like, just fuck my career up, fam.
that Zionist
There-
actor.
Saying Zionism is sexy at this point in time, I'm sorry, at this point you're just stupid. You're just
Yeah, you
fucking
might as
dumb.
well just suck the dick
You're
of
just dumb.
Netanyahu and call it a day.
yeah.
And
might as
and
well-
have someone film it. Have someone film it.
You might as
Yeah,
well
here
just be like, I don't want a career anymore.
Exactly.
But
Because that's the
This is-
equivalent of
this
what
is-
they're doing.
this is not Hollywood in the 80s and 90s where being Zionist is okay. Today, it's like your career's dead if you even admit to that.
Yeah,
Anyways, we were just
last time I went to a movie theater was early last year when I saw Civil War. That was it.
Yeah, this is what we were just talking about. Netflix takeover, Warner Brothers, Russia, a new era for Hollywood, which has evolved from a business focus on theatrical exhibition to an increasingly digital-first industry. The acquisition cements Netflix market dominance and expands the company's content libraries. It faces off against tech giants such as YouTube and TikTok. So the deal would give Netflix popular and lucrative intellectual properties, including DC comic characters such as Batman, Superman, the Game of Thrones TV saga, a vast trove of titles stretching from Hollywood's classical era to the age of CGI-powered fantasy epics.
Oh boy.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, whatever.
Won't
the
need
news
stuntmen
release-
anymore.
In a news release Friday, the two companies said the acquisition would be a mix of cash and stock that valued Warner Brothers Discovery at $27.75 per share, with an enterprise value of $82.7 billion and an equity value of $72 billion, which takes into account Warner Brothers' debts, which they have a ton of debt, by the way. That's why they sold the company.
I mean, no
blah, blah,
offense, but I mean,
blah.
the movies are going to be AI generated
Yeah, there you
anyway.
go.
So fucking movie, you won't even need actors anymore. Oh no, what are the actors going to do with all their billions and
Yeah,
billions?
remember the Mummy Returns with that infamous Scorpion King character with the Rock?
Yeah, with the
Yeah,
rock,
yeah.
and
That-
it was like CGI. You know?
That was the worst shit. I thank you for reminding me that existed. I think my mind had blocked it out.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Well, the Scorpion King
Um,
was much better.
Yeah,
yeah, our movie theater shut down too, locally in my area too. So
Yeah,
I'm
and that's
into
what's
movie
going to happen.
theater.
It's going to happen
Mhm.
across the board because they, first off,
that was
they
what 2001 when that came out,
yeah,
Yeah,
the
or
Mummy
98 or something. I don't know. I
The
don't
Mummy
remember.
came out
Yeah,
in
it was-
99 and Returns came out in 2001. And
Yeah.
apparently there's going to be a new Mummy movie with Brendan Fraser and
yeah.
what's her name? Rachel.
I-
Weisz?
I-
Is that her?
Rachel Weisz,
Rachel Weisz. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, they're pre-production. Looks like.
but they're both old. I mean, have you seen Brendan Fraser lately? It's not like he's
Well, he
tip-top
was
shape
an actor
anymore.
for that film a couple years ago, right?
he does look very raisin-esque lately, like very raisin.
Baron- so we got some drums here
Potato.
because Paramount is still trying to buy up Warner Brothers Discovery. In other words, Larry Ellison is still insisting on trying to purchase this thing. They feel their $30 share for all cash is higher than what Netflix offered in terms of cash stock and the value of the cable business spinoff.
It's like the Monday Night
So-
Wars.
Yeah, Larry Ellison's
but-
not giving up on his acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery.
Why
So-
don't you, Larry Atlas? Why don't you just buy the WWE library? I mean, nobody's fucking doing that, and I got till the end of December to get your shit together, people. I want to be able to show this shit on my show. Okay, that's why I use Peacock for most of my show anyway, or my show's gonna be like 2 minutes.
Man, the Larry Ellison's moves lately rattled everyone to such a degree that Anna Kasparian did like merchant posting live. That's how.
Yes,
That's how
we're not
dire-
gonna spy on you. Every time you play
That
that,
was-
song, I'm just like,
Oh
ugh.
my god!
I know. I would have just like cringe, like
I'll never-
majorly.
I'll never get over Jenk's face during that segment because he was like, "Oh, what's happening? What are we doing here?"
Yes.
Oh,
We're gonna
okay.
surveil
Yeah,
everybody, and you're gonna like it. Why don't you just say
Yeah,
you're gonna
it's-
own nothing, be happy, and eat see bugs, and you can suck a dick?
Yeah,
I
it's
think
just
that was pretty
weird behavior.
straightforward. And I don't see Angel going, to
No.
anybody, right?
No, it's
Alright.
Or when Sam Cedar, he's so slow to say words, he's like,
I mean, I agree. Yeah,
Let's just go to
Hollywood
sleep.
is just full of pedophiles.
Yeah. So now there's people talking about, oh, do you want to see Netflix do a Game of Thrones remake? It's like, no,
No, I didn't watch the
Absolutely
first Game
not.
of Thrones.
absolutely not. I mean,
I
I
gonna
didn't get through
remake
the
they'll
first
ruin it.
season. The first
Season eight.
season,
with especially how season 8 ended, or the season.
I
that
didn't
was
even get
horrible.
through the first season. It was like brother and sister fucking each other, having kids. I'm like, ah! Look, I love my brother, not that much.
so
Okay.
let's compare elite Ukrainians to the poor Ukrainians that have to fight the war. So all the rich Ukrainians are connected to Zelensky, obviously.
Oh,
So
Jesus Christ.
this is no music, but yeah, we get the point. Look at this.
Yeah,
The
I get
elites
to
are on
jump
the
up
left.
and show my titties. Woo! Goody for me.
The elite Ukrainians.
I
on the
can
left,
suck
and
dick
on the
all
right-
day. Woo!
And on the right, the poor Ukrainians are becoming cannon fodder for the Russians. So
Yeah, look at my
Jeez.
titties. I suck dick. Woo! Meanwhile,
God.
you know.
You know what I thought? You know what I thought at first?
What, you
I
thought I was sucking her titties?
no. I
Shut
thought
up. Just kidding.
Sorry.
I literally thought that like I thought to myself, I'm like, they're identical to Israelis. This is some Israel coded shit they're doing.
Yeah.
yeah,
You've seen
They're
those
very
memes,
similar
right? It's
to-
like the picture of the beach up top, right? It says Netanyahu's kids, Biden kids, and Trump's kids. And then under it, it has your kids and it has them in military uniforms, right? It's kind of
Yeah.
like that. It's like that meme,
Oh, look at what she's doing. She just slapped her ass.
yeah, slapping
All
her
these-
ass. There, like
all
they
these
said-
people are on
That's
drugs.
not from what I was doing. Well, I wasn't doing nothing. These are rich bitches who suck dick all day. Well,
Yeah.
fuck, I can do that too.
it's slapping her ass. Like
Just
you
not
know, it's not a
sucking the
big.
right
Yeah,
dick.
we're Ukrainian. Oh, we're at war. Shit, I didn't notice. I mean,
What was that? Was that a bomb? Well, I didn't hear it. Yeah. It was
yeah,
probably
it's like
me
bombing
sucking a
of
dick.
buildings. Goodbye.
Don't shoot.
Well,
I'm
that's-
retarded. Prove it. I support Ukraine.
There you go.
That's kind of how
Ukrainian
capitalism
men can't
rolls,
dance.
though.
What the fuck is this?
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're elites.
Look at
They think they're cool when they're lame and they're cowardly and they're hiding in their ivory towers,
Why does that
parting
look like
their
a
heads
Call
off.
of Duty radar?
It really does. On the right, it looks like a Call of Duty thing. On the left, it's like, hey, we all partying, we all sucking dick. You know what the fuck? It's like, stop. We get it.
Yeah.
You suck dick. That's how probably how
yeah.
I got rich in the first place.
Or as Paul Heyman
More-
would say, you can suck my fucking dick.
When did he say that?
During his Hall of Fame.
His Hall of Fame induction.
Oh, okay. Blech. Rich
Yeah,
versus
so we
poor
got another ad
Ukrainians.
here.
Oh, another one.
We got an ad here, which is pretty hilarious. I wanted to play it. So.
Ви народилися в одній країні. Ви обидва хотіли кращого життя. Подорожувати,
Elite
тусуватися,
4.
відпочивати, відриватися наповну. Але його поважний татусь вирішив, що тобі це не треба. Його синок – еліта, а ти – м'ясо.
Your cannon pop.
Чи готовий ти померти за нього?
You don't know whose sons don't get conscripted. All right, we don't need to play that again. But yeah, I saw it.
See, proves my point. Proves my point. The rich just sit around and suck dick all day while your kids go off and die in war.
And the thing is, like, this is kind of how all wars roll, right? And kind of reminds me of that old saying, you know, nobody would start wars if they were the ones who had to fight them. And sure enough, all of these politicians, they just sit there all nice and fucking cozy, and they don't have to see the horrors of war. They don't need to deal with any PTSD or,
Right.
you know,
Shell shock,
getting your testicle blown off. Just one. Getting your one testicle blown off.
Nothing.
Nothing. They just get to sit back and say, you know what? You know, we're gonna support them till the last Ukrainian. And
Yep.
I'm part
And when they say that,
so-
believe them, because they don't give a fuck about Ukrainians. They, especially the poor ones, they just think all the poor people are just cockroaches that need to be squashed. You will own nothing, be happy, and eat sea bugs.
Speaking of Ukraine, it sounds like Zelensky will be gone soon. Like NATO wants him gone.
Probably if he's lived it out, or if he's outlived his usefulness,
No, it's
and now he's a liability.
yeah. If he is a liability to the U.S. because he doesn't accept this peace deal, Trump will be embarrassed. If Trump's embarrassed, you know, he's good as dead.
Well, also Trump has lost. We've covered it on Propelled.
Right, what did I just watch? That's what I was thinking.
We've covered it on Propelled. Like and subscribe. But
Yeah, go,
what
go subscribe. Yeah,
what we basically covered on Propelled is what we're seeing right now is basically like a complete controlled demolition of Trump. That's why you're seeing these new right-wing figures pop up, like you know, Nick Fuentes,
yep.
Candace Owens, this like new right that's kind of forming, who are
Right.
super cozy with all your favorite billionaire actors, because of course they are. This is why you're seeing this new right pop up, because Donald Trump's essentially he served his purpose on multiple fronts. You know, he got Israel out of hot water with Iran. And he's basically losing all of his political capital, because this dude, let's not forget, this dude ran on being the fucking peace president, and he's done like the polar opposite. Like it's almost like Biden levels of brain dead, where it's
comical,
like
Yeah.
because Biden ran on
calling him the peace president.
yeah.
Right. They did that to both, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Biden essentially ran on like a return to normalcy sort of thing, and the entire Biden presidency was extremely abnormal from start to finish.
Well, right.
To the point,
Like where the adults were back in the room. I think that was part
That
of
was
the
her-
the
this whole
adults are back in
campaign,
in charge now.
We went from adults are back in the room to his nickname forever being Genocide Joe. Good stuff.
And poop in my pants.
Also, we
Yeah.
went from Sleepy Joe to Sleepy
Fucking
Dawn.
get rid of
as
that
well.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so-
amazing. It's amazing how we went from one Brandon arc to another Brandon arc, where it's just like, this is your second melty brain 500-year-old dinosaur president. Have fun. He's not listening to you, and he's doing a bunch of shit you never voted for. Good job, America.
But you should
Yeah.
suck his dick because, I mean, in the eyes of his followers, MAGA is going, oh, he's so good. He's doing exactly what we want him to. Oh, and by the way, war is peace and up is down and black is white. And this is
That's what they
exactly
always
what the
say.
oligarchs wanted. They wanted you to see that, oh, well, we love war now because, you know, Trump did it. So let's suck the dick of Donald Trump and say war is good.
No, they
There you
just phrase it. They just phrase it as anything other than just we're doing war. They're gonna say it's a defensive operation, or we're going to say, you know, we're going at the big one with Venezuela now. We're going after narco terror. They literally regurgitated Iraq.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
bullshit.
And it's really just bullshit.
These
Yeah,
are all
they
psyops,
regurgitated.
like-
Yeah, they regurgitated Iraq war propaganda, and they just added narco
Exactly what it
onto
is.
terrorist, and that's it, right?
The-
So he's gonna lose. My point is, he's gonna lose a lot of political capital if he can't get like at least any kind of actual results in when it comes to like any of these conflicts, especially given how many he ran on. A big thing he ran on was ending the Ukraine war. You know, he said
within 24 hours is what he said.
Within 24 hours, we're gonna end the Ukraine war, and within 24 hours.
And Lindsey Graham went, "No, I don't like it. I'm going home now. Suck my dick."
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Trump,
the army.
Speaking of Trump, what the fuck is he thinking? Pardoning a Democrat now?
Pardoning?
Yeah,
Pardoning. He's pardoning a Democrat or whatever. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, Henry Kular or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
a criminal. He
Yeah.
pardoned a criminal.
I just
criminal.
Yeah,
We're all criminals.
I just always point back to that picture of Trump and Clinton golfing together. I'm just gonna always. Well, I guess that's different now, right? You know,
Well,
after
it's
recent news.
Bubba is either Clinton or it's a horse. So pick your poison, whichever you want to imagine Trump doing.
It could also be both. We can't discount. It could be both.
So you're saying Clinton is a horse in disguise, right?
Could be.
No.
That's the mask ripoffs meme.
No, what happened was it was Trump, Clinton, and a horse. That's what I'm gonna believe.
It's all three.
It was a threesome.
He's just the throat goat, right?
Let's get.
He's just gobbling it.
Let's get to the creepy army thing. This is from Task and Purpose. The Army's latest PSYOP recruiting ad reminds you, we are everywhere. Words are weapons.
No doubt.
The Army's favorite psychological operations soldiers want you. The Army's 4th Psychological Operations Group, Airborne, the same group that the eerie recruitment video Ghosts in the Machines last year, released a new installment on social media this month. And it wants the viewer to know that what psychological warfare is. So this is it here. It seems ominous. That's the point. This is the unit's idea of a recruitment video. The 4th Psychological Operations Group, based out of Fort Bragg, is focused on military information support operations, MISO, better known as psychological operations or PSYOP. The unit has been putting out striking montage-filled recruitment ads in recent years. The Department of Defense Inspector General report last year found that the Army did not have enough PSYOP soldiers in its rank to help fight an information war against peers such as Russia or China. With the past recruitment videos, the new one touches on a great counterintelligence ploys Patton's Ghost Army from World War II, with videos showing the inflatable decoy tanks used for it. There is another force applied in combat we generally don't think as a weapon of war. That is, the weapon is words. Words are weapons, the voiceover in tones. Yeah,
I never had my leg shot off with words.
Yeah, alongside old films of subterfuge and surrendering enemy armies, there's plenty of modern video, including drone footage of an eerie masked soldier waving. The unit once again brings in ghost imagery, drawing from Fleischer Studio iconic ghosts from their Coco the Clown cartoons, but also words and quite a bit obviously computer generated imagery that looks like slightly off. The effect is an unsettling montage of footage where there's always something to be toyed with. Maybe that's intentional, giving their units entire mission and methodology. In
And
fact, the whole
we also have Franklin blowing up narco terrorists.
yeah. In fact,
you
the whole
said-
final sections of the ad before Join PSYOP is a barrage of subliminal images with quick frames showing Coco the Clown, snarling ghosts dressed up in modern soldiers, internet memes including Pepe the Frog, and more. Anything we touch is a weapon, the subtitle says near the end.
In your
Last
head.
year, A Ghost in the Machine came out. PSYOP reservists pointed out that the video is more of a recruitment piece than an actual example of psychological operation. This new one feels like the same mold, although the imagery is rife with nods to subversion, subliminal messaging, and other tools that are useful to PSYOPs. The Army is putting out additional resources and attention toward information warfare, including standing up new units meant to counter digital campaigns from adversaries and conduct wider public affair battles against disinformation. But the 4th Psychological Operations Group, set up more than 5 decades ago, is a hardened veteran of the information warfare. Blah, blah, blah. So there you go.
I mean, this is basically just psychological warfare on your mind. I mean,
Yeah.
they're literally saying, "Oh, believe us, words can hurt." When's the last time you were stabbed in the neck by an adjective? I'm sorry, I can't do that like Jimmy Dore could do. I'm not Jimmy Dore.
Must have been like
so.
a superpower or something.
Yeah. Anybody
Yes,
been killed by a preposition?
Here it is. Whoops. So this is the U.S. Special Army recruiting operation. So this is their psychological warfare. PSYOP
And this is for
soldiers.
stupid people who believe that Trump is the savior.
Yeah, PSYOP soldiers are assessed and selected for their intellect, critical and analytical thinking skills, adaptability, and mental resilience. They analyze operational environments, physical threats, and target audiences, advise on psychological effects, plan influence operations, develop actions and messages targeting psychological vulnerabilities, deliver optimally timed actions and messages, and assess influence effectiveness. Operating in small autonomous teams, PSYOP units conduct military information support operations, Department of Defense deception activities, build partner influence capacity, and, when called upon by the president, provide civil authority information support. In other words, when there's an emergency and Trump wants military on the streets, then these people help with information and with intelligence. Get together a bunch of citizens that are subversive, arrest them all, etc., etc., etc. So you get the point, I think. Let's see.
Well,
Can't
just
believe
like,
they're like,
go ahead.
have
Sam.
a career in psychological operations. It's like,
Well, I mean, they've been doing that for years. I mean, they would do all these psychological tests on soldiers. I mean, isn't that part of the Army training? That the stuff they don't tell you about. But I mean,
yeah, they train you specifically not to surrender to torture and stuff. So literally, they just torture their people in order to get them to not, to come to torture from other countries.
Right.
It sucks that America is set up in such a way for the average person to fail that a lot of these people probably just join up for no other reason than like, I can't afford college. I can't afford university. I've got nothing. I've got no other opportunities for me. This is the only path for me.
Right.
That is the
joining the
definition.
military.
That is
or
the
suicide.
definition of a warmonger empire. A
an
war
empire.
culture.
Yeah.
It's
That
like
is a war
Rome.
culture.
It's like Rome. You have no hope. You're poor. Join the military or
Yep.
join ICE in the U.S. because ICE offers $50,000 bonus just for joining.
That's
just
true,
join
but
ICE.
then ICE is also going after kids because they're all pedophiles. I saw that headline somewhere. I forgot where it was. I forgot where I was, but I think it was on X. It's like, literally they're going after kids. I don't know if that was like an Indie had put that article up or something, but they're going after kids because they're all pedophiles. They said, "Hey, you're a pedophile? Come join ICE. You can diddle all the kids you want to,
too.
and you get 50 grand to do it."
These are special forces, the best of the best of our military. Special Forces Operational Detachment Alphas are elite teams consisting of mature, intense, and highly trained operators. SF operators receive specialized training in advanced weapons, language demolitions, combat machine medicine, military free fall, and advanced combat tactics. Today's quiet professionals operates in autonomous environments as the most trusted force in America's army. In other words, they do invasions without invasions, like where they went into Pakistan to kill Bin Laden. We were supposed to be there, but they went in, murdered Bin Laden, and got out. That's what
Right.
they do.
I'll be back.
Or
One
they
second.
okay. Then they might go into Mexico, kill a bunch of drug dealers, and then come back out without Mexico even noticing. That's their
Right.
job basically. So
Snow, were you
or
gonna say something? But you're muted.
you're
We can't
muted,
hear
though.
you.
I hate how I can press that button and it self mutes. It's so poorly located. Anyway, I mean, there's a lot of people who do like join us just for the bank, but the really smart ones are like, hey, wait a minute. I know a way to make a quick $7,000. All I got to do is go on Twitter and regurgitate some Israel slop, and I'll get a
Yeah.
nice fat check for it. See, the smart ones, they just do that, which is why you see 5 million Indian I am Israeli accounts, even though they're in like New Delhi. That's the smart ones. The people who haven't figured out that grift yet, those are the ones that are joining like ICE or the military directly. They haven't figured out like, no, if you just want to sell your soul completely and become like the epitome of actual evil, that's where the real money is.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. Here we go. Europe's ante-novum, or Europe before the New War.
Or
Whose
Europa.
interests are
I think
served?
that's what it is. Europa.
I mean, it literally sounds like some
Oh,
kind of cult,
is
you know,
Europa.
mid Heil or something, you know, or mid God.
It's Latin for Europe before the New War. Whose interests are served by predictions of a third general European war in little more than a century? The answer is clear. Politicians who have led Europe into this nearly hopeless situation. So,
What is up with all these bots? What is going on?
It's the same bot. Can you?
Kick
I'm
was
gonna have
kick,
to.
kick was a mistake. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it. It was a fucking mistake.
Uh,
I can't. This is why we just stopped fucking with Kick altogether. We were just like,
Because
you know
of all
what?
the
Like
bots.
the bots, yeah.
the bots. There's no engagement.
Yeah, it's very little engagement when you go there.
It's really
so-
bad. It's really bad at integrating with Restream in general. It just
Yeah.
like you have to like preset a bunch of things. Otherwise, it just posts your streams as my first stream over and over again. It's just so weird. Like it's
Yeah.
just such a weird. I liked it in
Yeah.
the beginning, and then the more we tried to actually make it work as a streaming platform, I realized like
Yeah,
this
it's
sucks.
terrible.
This is just shit.
It's just I just clicked to go live on Kick, but I probably, especially how bad the bots are in this episode. It's like I can't actually read the chat. Everybody, it's like bot, like ridiculous.
Yeah,
European-
honestly.
Go
Sorry.
ahead, Snow.
Honestly,
Go ahead, yeah, I'm gonna have some.
we replaced Kick with Substack, and we already have like a paid subscribers, and it's so much better in every way because you can do long form articles. You can still stream. They're working on the streaming thing, making that better. It's definitely a better option, and you don't have weird bots in the chat. Like, look at this. The whole chat is just flooded with this slop.
Yeah, it's
Like
terrible.
It-
Yeah, I could barely
is
see
there a
my
subscriber only? Sorry, go ahead.
Let's see. European politicians are once again, for the third time in a little over 100 years, leading Europe blindly into a new war. Incredible, but it's true. It's similar to the run-up to the First World War. History, in the case of Europe, proving to be a poor teacher. In the latest confirmation of this drive towards war is the European Commission's recent proposal of a so-called war shinging, which would enable practical movement across European borders of its armies towards the east, without requiring the consent of individual EU member states. This contradicts the principle of member state sovereignty and the fundamental acts of the European Union. According to Kaja Kallas, the High Representative Foreign Affairs Security Policy of the EU, quote, the fast movement of Europe's military is essential for Europe's defense. Defense readiness fundamentally depends on whether you can get your tanks and troops to where you need them, when you need them. Europe is facing unprecedented security threats. The case for a better military mobility couldn't be clearer. Except what military threats? Who's attacking you?
Nobody.
Is that
You're
the
just making it
Russians?
up.
Yeah, there's nobody. Nobody's trying to attack Europe right now. Diplomacy, supposedly her core activity, has been completely forgotten by the former Estonian prime minister. War, and preparation for war is today the slogan for Europe's leading political elites. At the epicenter of this development is once again the two most powerful European countries, Germany and Russia. The warning from German Iron Chancellor Otto von Bismarck, architect of the European balance of power at the end of the 19th century, just prior to the First World War, has been forgotten. That peace in Europe demands stable relations between Germany and Russia. Uh, Germany's current Minister of Defense, Boris Pistorius, a man with a Russian name, by the way, whose country is expected to have the strongest army in Europe within a few years, announced that Russia could decide as early as next year to attack some of the most exposed NATO states, and certainly by 2028. There isn't a shred of evidence for this, by the way, guys, but they're swearing up and down the Russians are coming.
Oh no, the
This
Russians
the
are
evidence. This is the evidence right here.
Nothing.
coming. Right here. We got it right here. Russia's
Wall
not my
Street-
enemy. My enemy are the elites.
Yeah, the Wall Street Journal reported on November 26, 2.5 years ago, Germany developed a secret plan with Russia. Don't know why. The Russians aren't attacking them, but
By the way,
success
Rachel
of this-
Maddow still today is doing Russiagate bullshit. She's still.
Oh, I'm
doing
sure
that.
she is.
Hey, you gotta give it to Germany, because a normal country would be like, hey, we tried this whole war with Russia thing before and didn't go well. So they're trying round 2, I guess. After
yeah, this is like their round.
they're
two
like,
for
you know
sure.
what? We need another picture of the hammer and sickle flag flying over our capital as it's in fucking ruins. Let's please fuck my day up.
The success of large-scale military operation, codenamed Oplan Diu, with as many as 800,000 German, American, and other NATO soldiers, would be, according to the 1,200-page document, depends on infrastructure that is now being intensively modernized. Soldiers are rapidly being prepared for war. French Army Chief Staff Fabien Madon declared recently to the general outrage of the public that France must be prepared to accept the loss of its children if it wishes to effectively deter the Russian threat. Again, I don't know what threat they're referring to, and there must be some kind of a mass delusion in Europe that the Russians are coming. I don't know.
Oh my God, the Russians are coming.
EU Commissioner for Defense Andrus Kulubias, a Russophobic Lithuanian politician, shares this view. He would turn Ukraine into a new military frontier, presumably to protect Europe against a Russian attack, just as defended against Turkish invasions in the past. So the entirety of Europe is willing to sacrifice Ukraine and their people, and this mass delusion that the Russians are coming.
Of course.
This is one of the official reasons for the current militarization of the EU and declared long-term arming of Ukraine.
But remember, support Ukraine, guys.
Yeah, that they're supporting Ukraine by having them all killed in order to stop the Russians from invading Europe somehow. So Europe must win at any cost. The official Western doctrine claims that Russia carried out aggression against Ukraine, thereby flagrantly violating international law and the UN Charter, while completely ignoring the fact that the war is a consequence of NATO's expansion into the former Soviet Union space, with a gross violation of basic rights of the Russian-speaking population in Ukraine. But they don't tell you that part. According to the White Paper for European Defense, Readiness 2030, published in March of this year, the future of Ukraine is fundamental to the future of Europe as a whole. The war's outcome will be a factor determining in the EU's future. Europe must win by any cost.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
No, they don't,
No.
but don't listen to them. Let's see. Europe must therefore win at any cost, in the opinion of Callas and their superior Ursula von der Leyen, the European Commission president. For this reason, the coalition of so-called willing European states, led by Britain, Germany, and France, rejected the 28-point peace plan of U.S. President Donald Trump, who, despite hesitation and frequent changes in position, finally concluded that the war in Ukraine cannot be won and could lead to a nuclear confrontation between the United States and Russia. Trump goes back and forth on this, depending on his mood, I guess. But by contrast, the leading European states, despite having lost wars to Russia in the past, insist on continuing the Ukraine war into a nearly impossible victory under the assumption that otherwise Russia will attack Europe. Again, no shred of evidence of that, but they still insist that the Russians are coming. Sober person.
Oh no, the
asked
Russians are coming.
To what extent are such claims realistic, and whose interests are served by prediction of a new third general European war in little more than a century? The answer is clear. Politicians who have led Europe into its currently nearly hopeless situation.
It's like that meme: Russia, Russia, Russia.
Yep. Even if Russia wanted to attack Western Europe, it lacks the resources. For one, it's moving towards the demographics of an aging society. Fewer children, more elderly, and a shrinking labor force. A total fertility rate of 1.41 children per woman as of 2024 is the lowest in decades. Russia's median age is 42 years old. Russia's considerably smaller economy and human potential, 145 million inhabitants compared to Europe's nearly 450 million. Russia's nominal GDP of around 2 trillion, compared to the EU's combined GDP is 17 trillion, indicates that Russia clearly cannot conduct a successful war in NATO member states, even if it wanted to.
Oh, trust me, it could.
Another reason is
It's
that
not the warfare though that you think. It's the economy warfare where they say we're going to boycott all of Russia, and then the ruble goes up, and it's been higher than it's ever been.
Yeah, another reason European NATO states alone already allocate approximately 380 to 420 billion for armaments, while NATO members together, the United States allocates 1.34 to 1.45 trillion dollars. Russia, despite being at war, allocated only 149 billion for military expenditures in 2024. Russian President Vladimir Putin last week dismissed predictions of Russia attacking NATO as ridiculous and offered to formalize it in a non-aggression pact, which we talked about, I think, 2 weeks ago on the show, where the Russians are willing to put it down in the treaty. Oh, yeah, we want to attack Europe. But the Europeans are like, no, they're definitely coming. They're definitely coming. Maybe not in 2028, but 2030.
If you believe
they're
that, I
definitely
got
coming.
to tell you.
Oh my God.
Russia does not intend to attack Europe. To us, that sounds ridiculous. Does it not? He told a press conference in Bishalik, Kyrgyzstan. We had never had any such intentions, but if they wanted to have it formalized, let's do it, no problem. So Putin's like, let's put in the treaty, whatever. I mean, let's just move on from this ridiculous nonsense of
And it was
Russia
NATO that
attacking
broke
Europe.
all the promises anyway. They said, we're not going to, it was Bush Sr., I think, that said, we're not going to go left any farther. You know, we're not going to go up to the Russian border. And then what did Junior do? Went right up to the Russian border and expected Russia not to get pissed off.
Yeah, it started the NATO front. The NATO front eastward going east started with Clinton and then really accelerated under Bush Jr. and then Obama and
the amount of people who still think that, like, think of this like cartoonish reality where Russia's just this evil bad guy who invaded Ukraine and they have no fucking context for anything that happened beforehand. It's actually mind blowing how many people are just like, they're just doing a bad thing because they're evil or something. And like, it's not okay for adults to think this way. And if you do think this way, you really need to do some fucking soul searching. Because NATO's fucked around a whole lot. And now NATO allies are bitching because they're finding out. Well, yeah, you could have at least shown the bare minimum good faith, which, you know, the West has never shown any non-Western countries, so that's not surprising.
Sorry about these kick bots. I mean, they're horrible this week for some reason. They're usually not bad, but it's horrible this week.
You should check. You should check if there's a subscriber only feature when it comes to kick specifically.
I don't know if that'll help.
Yeah,
but I put them in timeout.
Okay, yeah, that'll work.
Just ban them.
Yeah, if somebody has like control, you know, control, just ban them if you can. The eagerness of leading European political allies to continue the war in Ukraine is partly the result of a systemic delay of the EU's as a democratic institution. The EU is so far unable to formulate even a single peace initiative to end the war in Ukraine. Moreover, due to the entirely one-sided policy embodied by the misguided strategy of 19 sanction packages against Russia, it's facing increasing deindustrialization. Industrial production in Germany, for example, has fallen to levels last seen 20 years ago. Numerous technology companies, especially German ones, are relocating their production to the United States, where business conditions are significantly more favorable. So deregulation, lower taxes, so they're all moving to the U.S. with energy prices up to 5 times higher for U.S. imports compared to Russian ones. European industry can no longer compete in the global market, increasingly dominated by Chinese and other successful companies from the global south. So this is the thing when the pipeline, when they blew up the pipeline, the Russian pipeline that Biden did, United, but Biden definitely did do it. That caused the Europeans have to buy U.S. natural gas, which costs like 3 to 5 times more than Russian gas and oil. So the Europeans are paying more in electric bills, more in gas bills. Why? Because the Europeans have completely, bent the knee to the American empire.
Yep.
And now that the American empire wants peace with Russia, all of a sudden they're shocked and they're pissed off about it, or at least quote unquote peace. I don't know whether Trump goes back and forth on that, depending on what day it is. But
And
I
his mood.
think I think
Yeah.
what their long-term plan is just to divert resources. I think they want to focus a lot more in the Middle East, because that is their secret to reaching China, and that's the end goal. So I think
China.
Trump's mind. Well, let's be real. The people whispering in Trump's ear, because Trump doesn't actually fucking call the shots. Anybody who thinks he does in 2025 is goo goo gaga. I have the brain of a fucking baby. The people whispering in his ear are basically saying, "All right, dude, fucking wrap this up. We got other plans. This is
We got other wars
we've already
to start.
like we've already gotten what we need out of Ukraine. We've got BlackRock hooked in. We've got a deal for the resources.
Right.
We're good. So just like wrap it up." And
Wrap this shit up.
I think
I agree.
he really overestimated his like actual social credit when it came to Putin, because Putin's basically telling him to kick rocks and making him look like a fucking moron, frankly. But that, I think, is the end goal. I don't think they care about peace. Of course they don't. It's America. They're a warmongering nation. What they care about is, let's wrap this up so we can focus more on achieving like the main goals we have. And the main goals they're trying to roll with right now is they're trying to go for a domination victory. Every dying empire does this same play. They're like, we're losing. We're on the decline. We better take as much over as fucking possible, or we're going to go the way of the dodo bird. And it's going to be a lot of kicking and screaming and shitting and farting and pissing and coming. But at the end of the day, like everybody knows who owns the future, and it's not the United States of America. Everybody knows that by now. They're cooked.
No,
they're fucking cooked. And I will always credit my dad for telling me when I was 10. To this day, I'm in shock. Just randomly at 10 years old, he was like, you should learn Mandarin Chinese. And I'm like, I thought it was so fucked up and random at the time. Now I'm like, you motherfucker. That would have been great.
You knew some leading European politicians relying on obsolete export model confirmed by the drastic decline in German car exports to China can no longer launch a new development cycle. Therefore, they turn to so-called war Keynesianism, based on the idea that governments can stimulate economic growth through increases in public spending, which include armaments. Adolf Hitler followed this pattern before the Second World War. In the United States, the consequences of the Great Depression were limited only through the rapid growth of the war economy, leading to Trump and his efforts to achieve movement, therefore, has not accidentally ordered all NATO member states to increase defense expenditures to 5% of their GDP. European political elites followed this command without resistance, so that creating more of a warlike atmosphere and higher profits for the arms industry, they can more easily stay in power. Since weapon production is not dependent on market conditions, prices are set by manufacturers, not by market or consumers. Weapons are becoming increasingly expensive. This allows the largest producers, for example, in the United States, Germany, and other major European arms manufacturers, economic growth and temporarily halt economic decline. So Germany economic growth this year will be less than 1% of the third consecutive year. It's no coincidence that Germany and other leading European states are not interested in ending the war in Ukraine, but its continuation, since only by fueling tensions they can maintain higher economic growth and based on primarily the arms industry. Most other industrial sectors, for example, the once iconic European automotive industry, the EU already lost the battle to Chinese producers. Instead of investing financial resources in research and development for civilian purposes, the European states will primarily fund military research. War Keynesianism only works in the short term, but this is also confirmed by the fact that Russia's economic growth has also begun to fall. The same will happen in Europe after a few years. Blah, blah, blah. So,
But even if that was true, I still don't think that NATO has a shot. I mean, Russia's economy is doing great right now, depending, and you don't give me numbers, okay? Numbers are bonk anyway.
Yeah.
So let's deal with the real reality that the fact that NATO has bombs and so does Russia. So it's just a kill me and the rich can go underground and still live and we're all fucked. So I mean, that's basically what we have going on here.
yeah. The only way out of the crisis is for new leadership at the helm of the most powerful European countries and at the EU. Both are rapidly losing legitimacy because of their militarism. According to the latest European polls, French President Emmanuel Macron is supported by less than 15% of French voters. Prime Minister Keir Starmer by less than 20% of British, with almost three-quarters rating him negatively. And German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, despite being in office only a few months, is supported by only 25% of Germans. In these three leading European countries, which are in serious economic trouble, the changes of power will likely occur in the next year or two. That would significantly influence the political situation in Europe. Increasing militant political elites are losing public trust. No European poll indicates that public supports the war or extreme militarization. Leading opposition party, the AfD, for example, advocates an end to the war in Ukraine, reformed of the UN system to reflect the change balance of power in the world, and democratic reform of the EU, or German withdrawal from this if it's not achieved. The first European dictator.
This is basically what this is going to be. This is going to be more of an economic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be an economic thing, and the problem is NATO ain't got the shit. They talk a lot and they talk a lot, but when it comes down to it, they ain't got nothing. They're bullshit, and they're only doing this because they're puffing out their chests and like, oh, we can do whatever we want. We hate Russia. They are the enemy. No, you're the fucking enemy. You fucking idiot. Look at Australia. You know, Snow did a wonderful piece on this. Please go over to ProPilled, like and subscribe, and like and subscribe this channel or this show as well. Like I said, topless at 30 or 40, excuse me, 40 likes and we get 40 likes and we get to topless witchy.
All right, so we're at 11. Get the likes up. But go ahead.
Right,
yeah, finish
right now, Angel. Right now, the Knicks are leading the Jazz 30-6. 30-6.
That's nice.
Oh my God. There's a sports ball thing happening. That is crazy.
But
wow.
To Ritter. Okay, so I'm talking about Snow and the fact that he did a wonderful piece on Australia. In fact, I told my coworker this, and I've been telling my customer this, and how crazy it is that literally now you have to show ID to do a Google search. If they bring this, and they're going to bring it to the United States, because of course Australia is they're the guinea pigs. They're always the guinea pigs for all this shit. So I said, well, I guess I'm just not going to get on the internet and I'm not going to do Google searches because I'm not doing that shit. I don't give a flying fuck if you know who I am and what I'm all about. And like Snow articulated very poetically, very eloquently, I couldn't think of the word, that literally this is being anonymous on the internet is gone. It's just gone. You could still do it on X for a little bit longer, and then they're gonna, want everybody to, be under their real names like they did on Facebook. And I told a couple of customers, I was like, Facebook wants your face. They literally want to take pictures of your face. I'm like, no, I don't have to take pictures of my face to be on Facebook. I won't be on Facebook.
This just speaking of, this just broke.
Breaking news, guys. We don't have the cool thing though.
Apparently, the World Health Organization published a document that proposes a globally interoperable digital identity infrastructure. So, what I always say like Canada, Australia, these countries serve as the beta test of what they're going to implement in America. It's always this formula. Because they figure out how to do it, how to manufacture consent, how to get the public to opt in, how to incentivize people, how to force people, coerce them rather. And then once they have that sorted, then they go, oh fuck, there's polymarket ads everywhere now. Anyway, once they have that all sorted, then they rolled out to America because they know their citizens are so unbelievably propagandized that, you know, if Trump says like we need to track you to make sure you're not a Venezuelan narco terrorist,
right?
There's going to be people who are like, I better get a digital ID, so because I don't want people thinking I'm Venezuelan.
Was, I think. And I was like, no, I'm not getting a real ID. I have a birth certificate that proves I am a United States citizen. If I want to get a passport, I will get a paper one that gets stamped. And if you don't like that, well, you can just go suck a dick because I don't care.
Of course, I knew you were going to say that.
I've been saying that. I was saying that during the whole time, like in my room, talking to my man because we watch Pro Pill together. No, thank you, Snow. Well, we watched it together, and I was telling him, I was like, this is coming. I mean, this is literally coming to America. And guess what? We're all going to jail because I'm not getting real ID. I'm not getting a digital ID. And if you don't want to take cash, well, that's too bad. Just go suck a dick. I don't care. I am not going to get a digital ID. I don't care how much you tell me I have to get one. I'm not getting one. Fuck you.
Well, there you go. So, stop making the Donbass territory a zero-sum confrontation. History tells us a wide range of solution that transcend one side gets to have it precisely so the other side can't. So, you know what? I wonder how this is play. Let's actually let it read the articles. I'm tired.
Stop making the Donbas territory a zero-sum confrontation. History tells us there are a wide range of solutions that transcend one side gets to have it, precisely so the other side can't. Among the 28 clauses contained in the initial American peace proposal, point 21, obliging Ukraine to cede as yet unoccupied territory in the Donbas to de facto Russian control, where it would be a neutral demilitarized buffer zone, has generated the most resistance and indignation. The hastily composed European counterproposal insists on freezing the front line instead. This was likely intended as a poison pill that would sabotage a settlement and keep the war going. Soon after, Brussels celebrated its diplomatic success of thwarting a U.S. bid to force Ukraine into a peace deal. At subsequent talks in Geneva, U.S. and Ukrainian delegations refined the original proposal to 19 points, but kicked the can of the territorial question down the road, to a future decision by Presidents Zelensky and Putin. Before the two sides have even sat at the same table, the fate of the Donbas territories has emerged as the issue on which the sides are so far apart, and so unlikely to give in to the other, that it may doom peace talks before they even open. Ukraine considers conceding territory bitter, humiliating, and painful. Understandably so, giving up even more, after the country has lost so much and so many in defending itself, is intolerable. Russia seems grimly determined to gain the territory, if need be militarily, its recent progress on the battlefield making this threat all too credible. In this conundrum, the inhabitants of this sliver of the Donbas are offered only two futures, both of them devastating. 1. They will be handed to Russian occupation, with no say in the matter. If they don't like it, they can leave.
Yeah, that's not true. They're happy to be part of Russia.
What the hell? First of all, the Donbass was taken by Russia because it's mostly Russia-speaking people who wanted to be a part of Russia anyway. And to say that, oh, well, you know, Ukrainians are humiliated because they had more and more land taken from them. No, Russia already has the land that they want. And that's it. I mean, Putin just keeps this going because they want Zelensky to give up. They want him to be humiliated because he's a piece of shit and he's literally a comedian who doesn't know, his ass from a hole in the ground. So I don't guess what I'm. Maybe I don't understand what this article is trying to say, other than oh well, we can't have peace because that would humiliate
it's
Ukraine.
Like
they're already humiliated. They're already sending retarded people off to war now, and I can say that word because I had a retarded friend.
Okay. So I'm just gonna say that none of this would have been a thing if the USSR weren't illegally disbanded when it was, because that is what it was.
Uh-huh.
It was illegally disbanded, so I always take it all the way back there. Because if we're gonna bicker about the particulars when it comes to Russia and Ukraine, well, they didn't have
just
a
meant, like,
democratic end to their union.
Right. Well, I just bring it back to Putin is not the evil guy that we were all told or expected to believe. And he already has what he wants. So it's not like, oh, we're going to just take over Ukraine. Then we're coming after you, Poland. That's not what happened. That's not what's going to happen. But there were so many people with their hair on fire screaming, oh my God, he's like Hitler. He's going to take all this territory.
Yeah.
No, that was Zelensky. So everything they accused Putin Rasputin. Putin. Everything they accused Putin of, they literally you could literally say that happened with Zelensky. So it's Zelensky who is actually the Hitler. It's not actually Putin.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Yes, Steph. Come on.
They just want to go. They just want to go Putin free. Okay, it's
Putin free.
They just want to go
like
Putin free.
There's Putin and then there's Putin.
Yeah.
You can say
Putin's a
it.
bad man, and we gotta stop him.
Yeah, stop him.
It's
Fuck
Putin
that.
or Putin free. Jesus Christ.
So I'm sure you guys have heard about this, but the Border Patrol is monitoring U.S. drivers and detaining those with suspicious travel patterns, whatever that means. So look at all these.
Cops are doing the same thing. They got that software. I don't know if you guys all know this, but the cops are doing it with that fog software where they can ping towers. And if you were in a certain area at a certain time, well, they'll just come and arrest you because that's good enough for them. Even
I
if
just
you were
realized
at the time.
I was gonna cover this article and I completely forgot on air.
Hey, that's what we're here for.
The U.S. Border Patrol is monitoring millions of American drivers nationwide in a selective program to identify and detain people whose travel patterns seem suspicious. The Associated Press has found the predictive intelligence program has resulted in people being stopped, searched, and in some cases arrested. A network of cameras scan and records vehicle license plates information, and an algorithm flags vehicles deemed suspicious based on where they came from, where they're going, and which route they took. Federal agents, in turn, they may then flag local law enforcement to get them. Suddenly, drivers find themselves pulled over, often for reasons cited such as speeding, failure to signal, the wrong window tint, or even dangling air freshener blocking the view. They are aggressively questioned and searched with no inkling that the road they drove put them on law enforcement's radar.
And they're doing the same thing with ICE. They're doing the exact same thing at the border that police are doing right now. So I was I don't know why I was watching this, but there's a lawyer for the People's Lawyer. He calls himself Jeff something or other. Sorry, I'll try to figure out his name. But anyway, he was talking about how these law enforcement departments were using something called fog, which is software where they can ping a certain tower or do a certain search and see what cell phones were in that area because of the data that it sends to a certain location through your apps. And they were doing the same thing that they're doing on the border, except they weren't using cameras. They were using software technology that is very invasive, and it is against our Fourth Amendment, but cops don't give a fuck as long as they get their man. Case closed. That's it. Bye-bye. I got a kid to rape, that kind of thing. I got a poor person to beat up, because we all know that cops are just lackeys for rich people and they hate poor people. So they're going to fuck up a bunch of poor people as much as they can. But this is no different. They just, oh, well, hey, there's a car. I think it's acting peculiarly. So they pull him over. Hey, I don't like your face. So go suck a dick and come to jail. Same fucking thing. This is what I'm talking about.
They have zero legal authority.
Do not let police search your car. I don't give a fuck if you have nothing to hide. Do not consent to a search of your vehicle. Period.
Yeah, you don't have to consent to, even if they bring out this drug sniffing dog. I mean, you still don't have to consent. Once limited to policing nation's boundaries, the Border Patrol has built surveillance systems stretching into the interior of the country that can monitor ordinary Americans' daily activities, connections for anomalies, instead of simply targeting wanted suspects. Started about a decade ago to fight illegal border-related activities in the trafficking of both drugs and people. It has expanded over the past 5 years. The Border Patrol has recently grown even more powerful through collaborations with other agencies, drawing information from license plate readers nationwide run by the Drug Enforcement Administration. Private companies and increasingly local law enforcement programs funded through federal grants. Texas law enforcement agencies have asked Border Patrol to use facial recognition to identify drivers, documents show. This active role beyond the borders is part of a quiet transformation of its parent agency, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, into something more akin to a domestic intelligence operation. Under the Trump administration, heightened immigration enforcement efforts, CBP is now poised to get more than $2.7 billion to build out border surveillance systems such as license plate reader program by layering artificial intelligence and other emerging technologies. This results in a mass surveillance network of particularly American focus cars. This investigation refers to details how how the program works on America's roads is based on interviews with 8 former government officials with direct knowledge of the program who spoke on the condition anonymity because they were not authorized to speak to the media, as well as other dozens of federal, state, and local officials, attorneys, and privacy experts. The AP also reviewed thousands of pages of court and government documents, state grant, and law enforcement data and arrest reports. The Border Patrol for years has hidden details of its license plate reader program, trying to keep any mention of the program out of court documents and police reports, former officials say, even going as far as to propose dropping charges rather than risk revealing any details about the placement and the use of their covert license plate readers. Readers are often disguised along highways and traffic safety equipment like drums and barrels. So the Border Patrol was so secretive about this program, they were willing to drop the charges against the defendants in order to keep this program out of court documents. Like, oh
I
yeah,
had to look it up. It's Hampton Law. If you look up Hampton Law on
What?
YouTube, a guy is a lawyer. He tells you, like, enact your right to silence. Right to stay silent. If you're ever talking to a cops or the cops pull you over or whatever, you do not have to roll the window all the way down. Just crack it, and you don't have to hand them your ID. You can just show it. So if you want to look that guy up, guys, Hampton Law on YouTube.
Yep.
Damn.
So the Border Patrol has defined its own criteria which drivers' behavior should be deemed suspicious or tied to drug or human trafficking, stopping people for anything from driving back country roads, being a rental car, or making short trips to the border region. The agency's network of cameras now extends along the southern border in Texas, Arizona, and California, and also monitors driving travel near to the U.S.-Canadian border. And it reaches far into the interior, impacting residents of big metropolitan areas and people driving to and from its largest cities, including Chicago and Detroit, as well as Los Angeles, San Antonio, Houston, to and from the Mexican border region. And one example, the AP found that the agency that has placed at least 4 cameras in areas, one of which was more than a mile from the Mexican frontier, beyond the agency's usual jurisdiction of 100 miles from a land or sea border. The AP has also identified several cameras location in metropolitan Detroit, as well as one placed near the Michigan-Indiana border to capture traffic heading towards Chicago or Gary, Indiana, or other nearby destinations. So this is one of those cameras. You can see, these cone, and it's pretty obvious when you're looking at it. But if you're driving by, like, you're not going to notice this thing.
Well, and that's the thing is, it's okay for them to. You ever have not a border patrol per se, but did you ever have like a cop say turn that off? Like you're videotaping them, but it's
Mhm.
okay for them to videotape you, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with the ICE and the border patrol. I don't get it. I would just look at that border control person and be like, "You're a fucking pedophile. Get the fuck away from me."
Yeah.
Literally, I would say you're a
Yeah.
fucking pedophile. All you do is you diddle little kids. That's worse than what I'm doing, which is driving a car. And if you don't like it, dude, go suck a dick. You're mall security for all I care. Get the fuck away from me. You think you're a fucking
Yeah,
police
border-
officer and a cowboy, baby.
Yeah. Border Patrol's parent agencies, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, say they use the license plate readers to help identify threats and disrupt criminal networks, and are governed by a stringent, multi-layered policy framework, as well as federal law and constitutional protections to ensure technology is applied reasonably and clearly defined for security purposes. And I say bullshit on that one. There's no way that none of this is remotely true. It's like, hey, we're governed by a stringent policy framework as well as the federal law and the Constitution.
Well,
Yeah,
and
right.
what's the
Well-
craziest part of this is they are acting like border security are official police officers. I thought it was against the law to impersonate police officers. Border security is just to look for immigrants trying to come here illegally. Unless I've escaped something or some kind of fucking court ruling that I fucking missed, I'm pretty sure that U.S. Border Patrol are not allowed to act like police officers and pull you over if you are a U.S. citizen. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Did I miss some kind of fucking Supreme Court ruling where they gave them more power and gave them, okay, now you can be police officers? I'm sorry, did I miss that fucking court date?
Yeah, Border Patrol only has authority 100 miles from
What
the border.
the bloody fuck?
So they don't have authority past 100 miles past the border, even though they're putting cameras around the country, apparently. For national security reasons, did not detail specific operational applications, the agency said. While the U.S. Border Patrol primarily operates within 100 miles of the border, it is legally allowed to operate anywhere in the United States, the agency added.
This is what I'm talking about. This is called the surveillance state, the police state, where they literally say, oh, you're border patrol. Well, you're kind of a police officer, so go diddle kids or go beat up some poor people. This is what I'm talking about. We are in a fucking police state where the police literally can do whatever they want to us poor people. And we have no nation, we have no right to fight back. Bull fucking shit. Border Patrol pulls me over. I ain't got no illegals in the car, so go fuck yourself. Go suck a dick. Goodbye. I am leaving, officer. If you have a problem with that, you can go suck a dick. That's literally going to be my response.
While collecting, go ahead. Yeah.
So we called this a while ago, but the play was always going to be, okay, how are we going to get the average American to opt into like a massive surveillance apparatus? And what they landed on was immigrants. That's why they never shut up about immigrants. They blame your economic woes on immigrants. They blame
when it's actually
crime. Yeah, they blame crime on immigrants. They blame pretty much everything on immigrants.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what they're going by. And you can see it in fucking real time where all of these things are being rolled out and they're like, oh, it's just to track immigration. We're really working on the immigration problem. That's why we need to completely monitor everything that's going on. And my prediction is they're just going to use butt immigrants as they roll all this shit out. Digital ID. Yeah. Oh yeah. Immigrants, total surveillance state.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. I have a fucking birth certificate. I can prove I'm from the United States. It's called a piece of paper and it's called my birth certificate. I don't have to get a digital ID. I'm sorry, Snow. Go ahead.
Well, the thing is, like, what they're also going to do is at some point they're going to announce that they are digitizing. They're going to use language like we're updating or improving. They're going to get rid of just these pieces of paper. They're going to say, okay, now all of your identification is digitized. It's online. And here's how they're going to fuck you. Guys, bookmark this. Here's how they're going to fuck you. Clip this, rather.
Clip this. Yeah, clip this.
What they're going to do is they're essentially going to say, in order to remain a United States citizen, you have to digitize all of your shit. And then all of the people who don't opt in to the digital ID, the digital surveillance sort of apparatus
like me
building,
and the rest of us here.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, you're no longer an American citizen.
That's all right. Send me back to Germany, motherfuckers, because I ain't doing it. Send me wherever you think I should go, because you can go fuck yourselves.
Right. And then what they're going to do is they're going to go, okay, well, now these people are technically illegal, and they're going to round you up. They're basically going to say, if you don't agree to being completely surveilled under this beast system of ours, get the fuck out. We're going to kick you out. We're going to throw you out. Go back to wherever, or we're just going to exile you. And that's why they're going after a lot of
pack a lunch.
Yeah, and that's why they're going. That's why they're going after a lot of these other countries as well, because they don't want people feeling like they have another option. They don't want people feeling like,
that's fine. You come for me, baby. You better pack a lunch, because my dad's ex-military, and he owns guns.
Yeah, while collecting license plates from cars on public roads has generally been upheld by the courts, some legal scholars see the growth of large digital surveillance networks such as border patrols as raising constitutional questions. Courts have started to recognize that large-scale surveillance technology that's capturing everyone and everywhere at every point in time might be unconstitutional under the Fourth Amendment,
Y'all
which
think?
protects people from unreasonable searches, says Andrew Ferguson, a law professor from George Washington University.
Right.
Obviously, you
But
don't
they
need
don't
a
give a
law
fuck about your
professor
Fourth
to tell
Amendment. The
us
cops don't care.
that today predictive surveillance is embedded into America's roadways. Mass surveillance techniques are also used in a range of other countries, from authoritarian governments such as China to increasingly democracies like the UK and Europe, in the name of national security and public safety. They
Hello,
do they
Professor
do
Brent.
collecting mass amounts of information about who people are, where they go, what they do, and who they know, engaging in a dragnet surveillance of Americans on the street, on the highways, in their cities and their communities. Nicole, blah blah blah. The surveillance systems do not make communities safer.
Yeah, that's what they put it under. Oh, we're making you safer. No, you're actually making it worse. You're making me
In
want to beat your
February,
motherfucking ass.
Lorenzo Gutierrez Lugo, driver from a small trucking company that specializes in transporting furniture, clothing, and other belongings to families in Mexico, was driving south to the border city of Brownsville, Texas, carrying packages from immigrant communities in South Carolina Low Country. Gutierrez Lugo was pulled over by a local police officer in Kingsville, a small Texas city near Corpus Christi that lies about 100 miles from the Mexican border. The officer, Richard Beltran, cited the truck's speed 50 and a 45 for the reason for
Oh,
the stop.
wow.
But speeding was a pretext. Border Patrol requested the stop and said that the black Dodge pickup with a white trailer could contain contraband, according to police and court records. U.S. Route 77
Only
passes
in
through
their fucking
Kingsville,
heads.
a route that the state and federal authorities scrutinized for trafficking drugs, money, and people. They had zero evidence for the Border Patrol to say they had contraband or could contain contraband. This is just a giant fishing expedition. Like, there's no reason for these pullover. You don't have to have them search your vehicle. Nothing.
Right.
Eventually, they'll let you go because they have no probable cause to pull you over to begin with. So,
Well, and you can also sue them, but again, that takes money and that takes time. See, you don't even need an illegal in your car. You just need stuff that they need for their family over in the United States. And hey, we got to pull you over. You may have drugs. I'm a kid diddler. What the fuck? I mean, seriously, this is a major violation of your Fourth Amendment right.
Meanwhile, we're gonna
Yeah.
pardon narco terrorists.
Yep. Gutierrez Lugo, who through a lawyer declined to comment, was interrogated about the route he drove based on license plate reader data per the police report and court records. He consented to a search through his car by Beltran and Border Patrol agents who eventually arrived to assist. So that's a mistake. Because they could, even if they have body cams, they can still plant whatever they want on you.
Well, they turn their cams off. They'll seize your cams, or at least they'll try. Do not, if a police officer tells you to turn off your camera, or if you have like a dash cam or whatever, don't do it. Don't do it. They have no right to do that. And
Yeah,
if they need to seize it, then they have to have a fucking warrant. Know your rights, guys. Know your rights.
They unearthed no contraband, but Beltran arrested Gonzalez Lugo on suspicion of money laundering and engaging in organized criminal activity because he was carrying thousands of dollars in cash. Are you kidding? They just arrested him for suspicion of money. They had no evidence for that. It was
They have
obviously,
no evidence, but they don't care. As many poor people, they want to fuck with as many poor people as they can. And the cops and the popo and the piggies, I call them piggies. But the Border Patrol are no different. They have a set quota of as many poor people to fuck with on a daily basis, and they're going to meet their quota. You know.
Yep.
I'm surprised this guy didn't get shot. I mean, they're doing that to
Yeah.
black people all around the United States.
Yeah, this is money
Shoot
that a
first questions,
supervisor.
they shoot first and ask questions later. That's their motto. That's how you
Money
fuck with
his
poor people.
supervisor said that they come directly from customers in local Latino communities who are accustomed in paying in cash. No criminal charges were ultimately filed against Gutierrez Lugo. In an
Shocker.
effort by prosecutors to seize the cash, vehicle, and trailer as contraband was eventually
That's
dropped.
called robbery.
Now,
Legalized robbery.
the
by the
legal
popo.
name for it is civil asset forfeiture. So
Right.
basically, when they arrest you, they can take all your shit and all your money
Right.
and all your shit and
Literally,
make money
we
off
could
of it.
have a cop
Mm.
come up on my porch,
Yeah.
knock on our door, and then when we don't answer or whatever, the cop he'll just kick in the door, throw a bag of drugs, and say, "Okay, now prove that that's not yours."
So
It's
squatting-
guilty until proven innocent. And they can do it if you don't have that. What I suggest you do is document, audio, video, get all this shit you can and prove that these cops are literally corrupt. They're piggies. They want to fuck with poor people and they want your shit. If the bank can't come and take your house, guess what? The cops will.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Barrios owns a trucking company, Paqueta El Guerrero, that employed the driver. He told AP that he hires people with work authorization in the United States and was taken aback by the treatment of his employee and trailer. We did everything right, nothing to hide. That was ultimately what they found, said Barrios, who estimates he spent $20,000 in legal fees to cover his driver's name, to clear his driver's name, and to get the trailer out of impound. Border Patrol agents and local police departments have many names for these kinds of stops: whisper, intel, or wall stops. These stops are meant to conceal or wall off that the true reason for the stop is a tip by federal agents sitting miles away, watching data feeds and showing who's traveling on America's roads and predicting who is suspicious, quote unquote, according to documents and people interviewed by the AP. In 2022, a man from Houston had his car searched from top to bottom by Texas sheriff's deputies outside of San Antonio, and he got a similar tip-off from Border Patrol agents about the driver, Alex Schott. Federal agents observed that Stock had made an overnight trip from Houston to Carrizo Springs, Texas, and back. They knew he stayed in a hotel about 80 miles from the U.S.-Mexico border. They knew that in the morning, Schott met a female colleague there before they drove together to a business meeting. At a Border Patrol's request, Schott was pulled over by Bexar County Sheriff's deputies. The deputies held Schott by the side of the road for more than an hour, searched his car, and found nothing. The beautiful thing about Texas traffic code is that there are thousands of things you can stop a vehicle for, said Joe Bob, the sheriff's deputy who stopped Schott's car, in a deposition in a lawsuit Schott filed alleging violation of his constitutional rights. So this guy actually is suing the Texas sheriff.
As he should. Because if he did not consent to a search, that is a violation of your Fourth Amendment right if they search anyway.
Yeah, so this technology has failed miserably over and over again, but they still use it to predict suspicious people. So
it's the same thing with surveillance. That's why I agreed with you. I was telling my man this when I was watching Pro Pilled. You're about grocery stores watching you. Snow, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
my mind is going a million miles a minute. So when I was
good.
talking to my man and I was saying, they want this profile on you so they can do what they call preventive policing. Because maybe in the future you might commit a crime. You might not, but they can stop you beforehand, right? So they could just show up at your door one day, kick it in, and do that no-knock warrant and say, "Well, we were just doing a health check or something, welfare check,
wellness check,
wellness check or whatever," and they could kick down the door and say, "Well, we think you're going to commit a crime, so you have to come with us." No, how about you go fuck yourself and go suck a dick, and I'll remain a citizen who doesn't do any fucking thing wrong.
But this gets
How many
worse.
is that now?
Yeah, I
At least
don't know.
10.
It says worse though. According to testimony and documents released as part of the Schott lawsuit, Bab was on a group chat with federal agents called Northwest Highway. Bab deleted the WhatsApp chat off his phone, but Schott's lawyers were able to recover some of the texts. Through a public record request, the AP obtained more than 70 pages of the Northwest Highway group chats from June to July of this year from a Texas county that had at least one sheriff's deputy active in the chat. The AP was able to associate numerous phone numbers, sets of documents with Border Patrol agents and Texas law enforcement officials. The chat log showed Border Patrol and Texas Sheriff tips about vehicle travel patterns based on suspicions about little more than someone taking a quick trip to the border region and back. The chat showed how thoroughly Texas highways are surveilled by this federal partnership and how much detailed information is informally shared. In one exchange,
again, are they going to Canada and doing that for the white people? No, they just do that for Latinos. Fuck you.
This entire article is on the U.S.-Mexico border. There's very little mention about the U.S.-Canadian border.
Or any of the white people that come over here on planes.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, no offense. No, we know you're white. You're Canadian.
All good.
We love you.
In one exchange, a law enforcement official, including a photo of someone's driver license, then told the group the person who identified using the abbreviation for someone in the country illegally was headed westbound. Need BP, responded a group member whose number was labeled as BP Intel. Yes, sir, the official answered, and a Border Patrol agent was en route. Border Patrol agents and local law enforcement shared information about U.S. citizens' social media profiles and home addresses with each other after stopping them on the road. Chat showed Border Patrol was also able to determine whether vehicles were rentals, whether drivers worked for rideshare services like Uber and Lyft and stuff like that.
Right, and it's not just.
How much longer is this article?
But this is
Pretty
not
long,
much
but
different than what the
let me
cops
see.
are doing. And
Yeah,
these are
pretty
just
long.
mall cops. These are just Border Patrol cops who
Well, you
think
guys
they're
get the point.
cowboys, baby, but they're not. But even real law enforcement is doing this as well. They can tell, they know what your address is, and just from all the data they collected during these apps on your phone, they can get your address. They know your numbers. They know your kids' names. They know everything about you. And they're getting it from, the apps on your phone that literally are reporting back to these, if you have your location on, and that's where they get these pings. And that's where they can say, well, you were here at this time and at this date. And if you're Latino, it's worse, because there was a guy, Jorge or something, was arrested on suspicion of murder when he wasn't even in the fucking area, and he had witnesses too. So they don't care as long. Hey, well, it says you were here at this time at this date. Case closed. Bye bye. Go rot in hell. Go rot in jail. Right.
So the whole point of the whole pre-crime, the whole point of the whole pre-crime predictive policing sort of thing is essentially what this is they're trying to get to a point where it's thought policing, where it's thought crime, where any dissent against the main narrative, the main establishment, they just want a speed run to put you in jail. So instead of
because poor people are the criminals. We're all the criminals, and the rich people, well, if they are criminals, that's just a Tuesday.
No, remember,
the real criminals are.
Remember, we're communists.
Yeah, we're all communists and we're all criminals and cockroaches.
It's part of that too, but they also just want to ensure that there's a system where they can essentially sell to the public. They can essentially sell to the public that what you are saying and what your thoughts are and what your interests are punishable, because then they can just connect you to we had to arrest that person. They were a terrorist. They were RAI had said they were 70% likely to commit a terrorist act. Right. That's the whole pipeline they're planning with all.
And be obedient. Poor people, be obedient. So if we determine that you're a terrorist from what you say and your ideas and your hopes and your dreams and whatever, well, if we deem you a terrorist, then you are a terrorist and you have to come with us. Even if you don't think anyway, you think, love, happiness should enhance the world and whatever, and no more world hunger and that kind of thing. Even if you're a super duper great person with love in your heart, you still will be deemed a period. Sorry. You will be deemed a terrorist if you think, oh, well, maybe the government shouldn't have this much power to surveil us. I mean, what a radical idea, right? They want obedient people to say, well, that person is a terrorist, so just put them in jail. Even though they never hurt even a fly, they take the fly outside. They don't even kill the fly. That's what I'm getting at. They're literally trying to do that preventive policing so they can surveil everyone, so you have obedient people who do the bidding of
it's
who suck the dick of the rich. There you go.
It's like Minority Report. Like we're living through Minority Report. Predictive crime, thought crime. Don't even think about killing somebody, or else you'll be arrested.
Yeah, don't even think about threatening someone or beating someone up in your dreams.
There hasn't been a sequel to that.
I actually like that movie, but surprised there wasn't a sequel. So let's get to Venezuela, because Nicolas Maduro is really bending over backwards to basically appease Trump. There's another example.
Oh God, you're not going to appease Trump.
Venezuela allows U.S. to continue deportation flights despite Trump order to close airspace. More than 13,000 people have been deported from the U.S. to Venezuela this year. There's another example of Maduro just bending over backwards to
What is he
appease Trump.
thinking?
He doesn't want, for some reason, he's thinking, well, if I just suck the dick of Donald Trump, then I don't have to,
that's
go
exactly what
to
it
war
is.
with the U.S. and
He won't
lose my
invade.
whole life or my,
I mean, why won't he
country.
just continue to stand with his own?
So what he's essentially thinking is, I don't want this to turn into another CIA-backed socialist coup where they basically overthrow
Right,
the will
Yep.
of the Venezuelan people, install like a puppet, like they do with the global South all the time, like they've done countless times before.
Yeah.
I don't want the United States to fucking do that. And what he's doing is he's signaling that he's not acting in bad faith here, because he also correctly understands that, we live in a multipolar world now. So
Yeah.
the plan is to essentially make US just look like the total bad guy. And if he's smart, what he will do is he will find a way to counter all of the propaganda narratives that are being spun about Venezuela. Because if you can't counter all the propaganda, then America is going to have to eventually just go full mask off and be like, okay, look, they've already said basically they want the oil, but they have to go full mask off and say, yeah, we're just taking over because we want that fucking oil and that's it. And who cares? And at that point, that's gonna massively shift discourse on a global geopolitical scale as well. So I think he's playing a little smarter than the average person gives him credit for. But at the end of the day, like, what is Venezuela going to do against one of the most powerful war empires the world's ever known?
Right, and
I'm
probably
sure
very little.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to end up like Gaddafi, right? Because remember what happened when they got rid of Gaddafi is basically, open slave markets. And he doesn't want his people to go through that, and he doesn't want to end up dead like Gaddafi. So I'm not saying he's not smart. Oh, he's very smart. I just think it's sad that he has to play this game of, hey, let's suck Trump's dick and do whatever he wants to do. And it's probably not going to work anyway. He's probably still going to get overthrown.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Trump is not really in charge of foreign policy. It's Marco Rubio. He's the one. He's the one, even talking in Trump's ear, like, "Hey, let's do that. We got to get rid of these socialists in South America." And Trump's like, "Yeah, of course, get rid of socialists. Get rid of."
That's true.
Socialists.
We gotta kill the commies. We gotta kill the commies.
Bro, Rubio's gonna
kill the
next his blood on Maduro like he did with Gaddafi, or that infamous.
No doubt about that. Yeah, no doubt about that. We can't hear you, Angel.
Oh.
Breaking. Angel has died.
And it's not me. I can hear everybody else. It's not me this time.
Yeah.
I swears.
I can't hear him.
Okay. So we'll just stall for him.
So despite him getting a new computer, he's still having connection issues.
Well, that's just because of probably his internet.
Can you hear us now, Angel?
Talk.
Oh, no.
Okay. Yeah, you're good. Good.
All right. I had a glitch there. Sorry about that.
I think it's your internet connection again, right?
It could be. I don't know.
Might just switch networks or routers or whatever it is,
Well, you went to Comcast, didn't you?
Yeah, I have Comcast here.
Yeah.
The government, Nicolas Maduro, has approved a migrant repatriation flight from the U.S., allowing the U.S. to continue deportation flights to Venezuela, despite President Trump's country airspace to be closed. The aeronautic as well as received a request from the government of the United States to restart migrant repatriation flights from that country to Venezuela, Venezuela's transportation ministry said in a statement. Over the weekend, Trump declared the airspace above and surrounding Venezuela to be closed in its entirety, suggesting that he was going to enforce a no-fly zone over which would be an act of war. In response, Venezuela's government called the declaration illegal and said Trump's announcement unilaterally suspended the Venezuelan migrant flights that were regularly regularly and weekly being carried out. Those deportation flights appear to be back on. Despite the major U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean, U.S. demands from Maduro to cede power and threats of war. Venezuela has continued to cooperate on deportations and had made it clear it's willing to work with the Trump administration. According to the Associated Press, more than 13,000 Venezuelans have returned to the country this year on flights from the U.S. President Trump recently spoke with Maduro by phone, and according to media reports, the only way the Venezuelan leader could save himself and his family is if they flee the country. The demand suggests that
Jesus,
the
yeah,
U.S.
fuck you, Trump.
to maintain the pressure on Venezuela continue moving closer to
Of
war
course.
despite the Venezuelan government's cooperation. So it
I
doesn't
said
matter
this
they're
is going to be
cooperating
just
or
like
not.
Gaddafi.
They're going to. It's like only way you could save yourself is fleeing the country. So just leave your own country, basically. And,
How about you leave, Trump, and there will be parties in the streets.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And why doesn't Valentina Gomez leave as well?
That would be helpful.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Because Trump
Be very
just
helpful.
endorsed her opponent in the GOP race, so she's done.
Yeah. She has very little chance of
Mhm.
winning. So we have the pontiff. Pope Leo warns the U.S. against
Yeah,
launching a war
pedophile.
in Venezuela to remove Maduro. The U.S.-born pontiff said bishops in Venezuela, a majority Catholic nation, are looking to calm the situation. Pope Leo XIV has warned the U.S. against invading Venezuela to oust President Nicolas Maduro amid a major U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean and threats of the U.S. launching a regime change war. What happened to
Mhm.
Tulsi Gabbard? I thought
Well,
she
I
was
mean, I
against
agree
regime
with
change
him,
wars.
but doesn't he have a bunch of pedophile priests he has to worry about? Shouldn't you make pedophilia kind of
Well,
illegal?
that's the problem in the
What-
Catholic
what
Church,
for?
and it has been for 100 years at least, maybe longer.
Well,
Leo,
Angel, to
Yeah.
answer your question, Bernie became a cuck to Biden, and Tulsi's become a cuck to Trump. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
and so
there you
has
go.
That's
our
essentially how it
Leo-
goes.
Yeah, Leo was asked about the U.S. threats against Venezuela during a press conference he held on his way back from Lebanon, where he prayed for peace in the war-torn nation that faces the threat of escalation of ongoing Israeli attacks. The U.S.-born pontiff pointed out to reporters that mixed signals come from the Trump administration and urged dialogue. Quote, on one hand, it seems there's been tension between the two presidents. On the other hand, there's this danger, this possibility that there could be an operation, including invasion of Venezuelan territory, unquote.
of
Leo
course,
said.
don't forget, Memdani is also parroting the Venezuela propaganda.
Oh yeah, he literally
Yeah,
has
he is.
bent the knee
He
to
went
Trump and sucked his
on-
dick and everything.
He went on Jorge Ramos's podcast, basically bent the knee to Trump, saying,
The guy
"Oh
that
yeah,
Max
these are
Blumenthal,
dictators."
exposed a few years ago.
Yeah.
Well, we
But
kind of
here's the
knew this
thing.
was going to happen.
Even the
Yeah.
other pope, you know, you were saying how pedophilia is illegal. It's really not, because they just cover it right back up. But there's still pedophilia going on in the Catholic Church, and he's just not even addressing it.
Yeah,
Just like the
he's-
other pope didn't. None of the
He's just too
popes did.
busy trying to project out to the world as a peace guy. Again, I believe it's better to seek dialogue within this pressure, including economic pressure. But looking forward to another way about bringing change, if that's what the United States decides. Leos also said that bishops in Venezuela, a majority Catholic nation, are trying to find a way to calm the situation, seeking all above good of the people, because in these situations, it is the people who suffer, not the authorities.
Yeah, Trump doesn't give a
Leo-
fuck about that.
Leo has previously expressed concern about U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean, saying that it was raising tensions. Catholic bishops in the Caribbean had harshly condemned the U.S. military campaign and the strikes on alleged drug-running boats in the region. It says it violates the sacredness of human life. Quote,
Which they
unquote.
don't give a fuck about either.
The Antilles
Nor have they
Episcopal Conference, which represents the Catholic dioceses and nations and territories across the Caribbean, said in a statement last month that warships and the disruption of marine livelihoods within our Caribbean waters represent real and immediate threats to liberty and to the welfare of our nations. The bishops added, while the quote narcotics trade continues to devastate Caribbean societies, unquote, the quote arbitrary and unwarranted taking of life cannot be justified as a means of resolution. Such acts violate the sacredness of human life, unquote.
No, it's much better if you rape kids. Sorry.
Quote the disregard of the sovereignty of independent nations cannot be accepted as a reasonable measure in the name of border
Jackie.
security. Wars or the threat of war is never the right solution, the statement added. The objectives of securing our borders and elimination of narcotics trade must be pursued with the respect for law, the dignity of human life, and with a tacit understanding of our region's deep commitment to peace, unquote. Whatever that means, because I don't think Trump and the U.S. cares about it. So this is
They
all
don't.
like virtue.
They have never.
None of this
They
ever
want.
means
They don't want
anything.
you to have a kid. They don't want you to have a kid. They don't want you to have an abortion. But they don't want you to have a kid.
Hey,
I
Jackie.
don't get that thing. But anyway, they're just trying to appease the Christians and all life is sacred. But yet they literally have a genocide. They're helping Israel with a genocide, killing kids. They don't give a fuck about you or your kids. Hello.
Yeah.
They never have.
They never have.
That's always part of the
And
scam.
what they do over there, they will do here. They will bomb. Literally, I think this is going to happen. They are going to bomb the people who don't want to be on digital ID and don't want to be surveilled.
Steph, you're a
at the
fucking
very
cop.
at the very least they will kick them
Proudly.
out. They will essentially say, listen, unfortunately you're no longer a citizen, therefore we're going to give you X amount of days to get out, or they will arrest people. Like, yeah, it's like this is a pretty cut and dry sort of situation.
Yeah.
Well, then I will see you guys in jail. We'll all be jailmates.
We'll all see each other in hell. All right. So,
But I don't believe in hell.
well,
A hell
we'll see.
equivalent. There you
Yeah.
go.
Witkoff and Kushner holds 5-hour meeting with Putin. No sign of breakthrough.
Yeah,
Putin
what the
aide
fuck
says
is Kushner doing in here? He doesn't know anything. He
How
just
could
sucks
you have a
dick.
meet for 5 hours
Witkoff-
straight? That would be, oh my god.
Witkoff is the U.S. envoy to the Ukraine-Russia war, so he represents the U.S. in any negotiations. But I don't know why Kushner is there. He's not part of the government anymore. I keep saying that, but he's a part of these negotiations too for some reason.
All he does is suck the dick of Israel because he's Jewish.
Where's Ivanka?
Yeah,
I
she's
don't know
all
where
sucking her
she's at.
father off.
Yeah, I don't know where she's
That's
at.
all she's fucking good for.
I don't know what she's doing these days. U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff and President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner held 5-hour talks. Held 5 hours of talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The Kremlin on Tuesday to discuss potential peace plans to end the war in Ukraine, but the meeting ended with no sight of a breakthrough.
Shocker.
Yuri Yashkov, a top aide to Putin, said that the talks were useful, constructive, and meaningful, but there were no
accomplished nothing.
compromises were reached. Some American proposals are acceptable to Russia, others are not, he said. Yushakov said that the U.S. presented proposals on territorial control, one of the main sticking points in negotiations, and declined to share more details about the conversation.
Yeah, we're not going to hear any more details.
Probably not. We agree with our American colleagues not to disclose the substance of negotiations that took place. The discussion was
Which was,
confidential.
I suck your dick, you suck my dick. Okay, it was a dick sucking contest.
Reporter. The original 28 U.S. proposal that was leaked to the media required Ukraine to cede what territory it controls in the Donbass, a key Russian demand to end the war. But Ukraine has been resistant to the idea of ceding any territory, and the U.S. proposal was altered during talks between U.S. and Ukrainian officials. Ukraine has no say in any of this. They're a puppet state of the U.S. They'll do what they're told ultimately. If not, Zelensky, so... Yep. Yushakov said in another meeting between Trump and Putin could happen, but it required more progress to be made on a potential peace deal. Quote, a possible meeting at the presidential level would depend on how much progress we can make along this line. We will continue talks at the level of representatives and assistants, unquote. Another main sticking in the negotiations is the issue of security guarantees. Ukraine's European backers are insisting on deploying troops to a post-war Ukraine. That's not the Russians are never going to
read Mouse's reply.
Yeah, I know. I just saw that. I mean, Kieran's not here. Usually, Kieran keeps track of it, but I think we're up to at least 15.
Yeah, he's the one that usually keeps track. Unfortunately, he's not able to be here, I guess. Another main sticking point in negotiations, the issue. Oh, I read that. The idea that was repeatedly rejected by Moscow. The assistance of a troop deployment or NATO-style security guarantees could ultimately sabotage the chances of the deal, which is what the EU wants. They want to sabotage this deal, like in the last article I read about this. So, yeah, there you go. Nothing happened. Seemed like it was a big waste of time.
I love you, Mouse.
Nothing is true here. Move along.
Hey, remember, guys, please like and share and subscribe, because if we get to 40 likes, this is where Mrs. Witchy goes topless.
Somehow.
Everybody wants a
Without
piece of
getting
Mrs.
banned.
Full
Witchy.
nude.
Everybody wants a piece of Witchy, all right? Even Snow wanted a piece of Witchy. Just don't tell your wife, Snow. No, I'm kidding.
Let's cover this real quick.
Yeah, be sure
So-
to like it as much as you can. Subscribe.
Oops. Here we go. So, the
Oh my
world's
God.
largest pension fund demands Microsoft disclose its dealings with Israel. The
Oh
U.S.
my
tech giant
fucking
has been
God.
accused of allowing Israel to use its cloud service and AI services to fuel the genocide in
funny.
Gaza. Norway's 2 trillion sovereign wealth fund has announced on 2nd of December that it's stepping up its pressure on Microsoft over human rights concerns linked to the Israeli army's action in Gaza, backing a shareholder demand for greater transparency of the company's global operations. The Sovereign Wealth Fund, the largest in the world, said that it will vote in favor of a proposal and calling on Microsoft to publish a report outlining human rights risks in countries where products are used in the context of significant rights abuses. The proposal submitted by shareholder group EICO, will be presented at Microsoft's annual general meeting on December 5th. Its intervention follows reports that Microsoft software and cloud tools were developed by the Israeli military in Gaza in the occupied West Bank.
Steph, I think
Prompting-
you might have your mic off, I think.
No, I know. It's because I was laughing so hard at what
Oh.
Vince's evil mustache said. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh, I
I
thought it
don't
was me. It's
think
like,
Snow
huh?
wants to go there. I'm sorry. I didn't want to like distract anybody. Oh my, I was losing it over here after what he said. I was like, oh my God, dude.
Prompting
Woo.
renewed security of companies' role in war marked by widespread allegation of war crimes. The fund said Microsoft must disclose how to identify human rights dangers in sensitive markets and explain whether its internal controls are effective. It stressed that boards cannot ignore the environmental and social impacts of products they approve. Microsoft management has opposed the proposal and urged shareholders to vote it down. Of course they are. Norway's fund holds a 1.35% stake, valued at $50 billion as of June 30th, making it Microsoft's second largest equity holding after Nvidia. LSEG data ranks the fund as Microsoft's 8th largest shareholder overall. The fund also announced that it will vote against
I'm sorry.
A fund also announced it will vote against CEO Satya Nadella's reappointment as chair of the board, continuing its long-standing policy against one person holding the CEO and the board chair role. It will oppose this compensation package as well, criticizing the scale of the U.S. executive pay and calling for remuneration to be weighted towards shares locked for 5 to 10 years, regardless whether executives step down or retire. The say on pay vote is adversary and does not bind Microsoft leadership, even if majority shareholders oppose the package. Norway's fund, known for its ethical investment criteria, has previously rejected Elon Musk's Tesla pay package and sold stakes in 13 Israeli companies on ethical grounds.
Elon Musk got really noted again recently.
Yeah.
He's a fucking pedophile. Okay.
Its push at Microsoft highlights rising investor resistance in technology firms whose products are implicated in abuses, including those documented during the Israeli genocide of Palestinians in Gaza. So, investigations have detailed that Microsoft cloud infrastructure became embedded in Israeli military intelligence operations. Leaked documents and interview with current and former personnel showed that Unit A200 was granted a dedicated section of the Azure platform to store and analyze vast collections of intercepted Palestinian communications. A system intelligence officer later informed airstrike planning in Gaza. The reporting also described mounting internal dissent of Microsoft, with employees accusing the company of supplying tools that enable Israel's mass surveillance architecture. Protests have pushed the company to open internal reviews, even as it denies its technology was used to identify targets. Documents cited by Bloomberg show Microsoft sought FBI assistance to track demonstration by staff demanding the company sever its ties to Israel. So Microsoft is
Dun,
like
dun.
desperate for FBI assistance to track their own employees that are demanding the company sever ties with
I
Israel.
still can't believe that Microsoft has pretty much killed Xbox.
Well, not only that,
Yeah.
but I mean, I wouldn't use the cloud. I don't use OneDrive at all, and I suggest to everyone else do not use OneDrive because they will look at your shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
they
no
will.
doubt.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
but-
Snow. When Vince said that, I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta get off. I gotta get on mute."
That should be
He
another
likes
time
you.
that says
Funny.
Vince McMahon's evil hair dye or whatever, something like that.
Evil mustache. I told you, everybody wants a piece of Witchy, and everyone
Look at
wants a piece of Snow.
Yeah. Well,
Well, look at
I'm
this. This
flattered,
is-
Vince McMahon.
I am my inspector. What?
Oh wait, no. Only his mustache.
Yeah,
correction.
just his evil mustache.
Just the mustache, guys. Sorry.
This is
Trying to
from
remain objective
Western-
here.
Ooh.
This is from U.S. Southern Command or Southcom. So December 4th, at the direction of Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, blah blah blah, they bombed a kinetic strike on a vessel, international waters operated by a designated terrorist organization, intelligence confirmed, blah blah. But look at this. This looks like Call of Duty. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they think they're doing. Only in like real life.
yeah. So this looks like any Call of Duty story mission where you have like a drone and you just bomb the shit out of everybody on top.
Except Black Ops 7.
Oh, apparently that campaign was horrific. I mean, it to me like Resident Evil. Not Call of Duty.
That game's doing horrible. I finally hope that's a wake up call for Activision.
Call of
Finally,
Duty,
don't
the
do-
ghost thing. When you mentioned Ghost, that's what I thought of, the Call of Duty Ghost, where they have that
yeah, that came out
game where
years
about like
ago.
you kill
Oh,
ghosts or something, or you kill zombies, or I don't know what the fuck it was. I'm like, okay, it's like Call
no,
of Duty Ghost.
Zombies have been part of the Black Ops series.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Alright.
so
Not
So
as
let's
bad
see,
as the
the
zombies we
likes-
have in Washington.
the likes are at.
Nothing's
let
that
me
bad.
see. The likes are at 19. So if we can get back to 30 this week, that will show support. This is Benjamin Netanyahu back in the 80s. He
If we get
admitted
40 likes, then Mrs. Witchy goes topless.
this. Israel owns and controls the U.S. So this
Saying
is
the quiet part
Netanyahu
out loud.
admitting in the
We already
80s.
knew this.
Let's see.
אבל אנחנו הולכים למסלול התנגשות עם הממשל האמריקאי.
You gotta
ארצות הברית
read.
זה לא מקשה אחת, זה לא מקשה אחת. יש את הסנאט, יש את הקונגרס, יש את הכוח היהודי שהוא עצום, יותר חזק משהיה אי פעם. יש דעת קהל, יש לנו כוחות כבירים בדעת הקהל שמתנגדים למדיניות הזאת.
everybody
גדולי
is
הפרשנים.
fucking pedophile.
אמריקה לא תכפה עלינו דבר. אם לא...
America
אבל
won't force us into
אנחנו הולכים...
anything. America won't force us into anything. So Netanyahu, even in the 80s, knew that America would always bow down to Israel.
Uh-oh.
No, I think so. I think he said he'd be right back.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be back. This is pretty funny here, I thought. The EU on the left versus Russia on the right. So this is
Hey, let him sleep. Be quiet.
gotta go to sleep.
Like, shut the fuck up.
Shut the
Yes,
fuck up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm so
My bad.
sorry.
So that's the EU
I mean,
versus
even
Russia.
dogs have a hierarchy. I mean, how fucking shitty is that? And then
Yeah.
NATO's like, well, we're going to put our best foot forward and we're going to make Russia bow to us. And then Russia's like, boo. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry, Russia. That's what they're going to do. You watch. That'll be the EU and the fucking NATO.
So this is Richard Nixon talking about Israel now. It
I'm
says
not
here, never mind.
Oh, yeah.
Never mind the Russians.
Mm.
Never mind the Russians. The biggest threat to America is AIPAC. This is back in 1973 when Nixon said this.
And none of us know why.
Explain something about what is called the Jewish lobby in this country. Their belief is that being for Israel first, that does not mean you're putting America second. An American president, however, has to approach it in a different way, in my opinion. He's got always to think first of what is best for America. An American president must make a decision that does not, in effect, give the Israelis a blank check. And one example of that is a decision that I made. I decided early on in our administration that we were going to seek good relations with Egypt and others of Israel's neighbors. Many of my Israeli friends didn't like that because they wanted a special relationship with Israel and Israel only.
But I didn't want to work with Palestine.
That's why they probably found some kind of tapping thing that every other president had done before him, and literally that they popped him for it.
My God,
Yeah, I thought. I
Same with
always thought
Kennedy.
water.
They popped him for not. I mean, Kennedy did not want to go into Vietnam, and they're like, nope.
Yeah, I always thought that Watergate was Nixon was set up on that and was forced to resign, especially with thoughts like this. Resign, we're just going to eliminate you. Okay, let me just get the hell out of here because I value my life. Let's see. Well, I found this kind of.
Oh shit!
interesting.
Sorry. Hate to interrupt. It is 9, so I'm probably gonna have to dip out. But
Okay,
thank you guys.
You want to come on Sunday, 7:00 p.m. again?
I might be busy up until we stream, but I definitely love to come back on sometime in the future.
Yes, for sure. We're welcome.
Angel or Steph, you should try to reach Bill if we can come on Sunday.
All right.
Yeah, Bill's always a good time. It's always fun. Anyways, guys,
Well, he
thank
loves
you
to make
guys.
fun of wrestling. That's why.
Yeah,
I mean, we do too.
good.
We make fun of it all the time.
All right, well.
All right,
Thank you for coming on,
It
Snow.
has been so much fun.
Yeah, thank you guys as always. Obviously, I'll be back. Be sure to like and subscribe Indie News Network if you haven't before.
By the way, how's Crap's rash? By the way,
rash.
it is spread to his entire city, unfortunately. It's just
if he wants to come on, tell him he's free to come on too.
You know, like the
Friday.
creep. You know, like the Zerg creep, like the creep when, like, in StarCraft, it's that, but like for a whole city. It's very bad.
All right, well, good to know.
Well, we love you, Snow. We love you very much.
Love you guys. And keep at it.
Hope
and have a good night, everybody.
All right,
good
see
night.
you, Snow.
I guess we'll wrap up in a few minutes ourselves, but I found this interesting.
Hemp car.
A hemp car. I didn't, but
why does that sound like a government car?
That sounds like a good car right there.
It was built in 1941. It contained celluloid fibers derived from hemp, sisal, and wheat straw. The plastic was lighter than steel, but could withstand impacts 10 times without getting dented. So it was built by Henry Ford, apparently, at Ford. So we'll see what this is. So this is the car here.
Amongst the thousands of products made from hemp, one of the most extraordinary is Henry Ford's plastic car. Built in 1941, it contained cellulose fibers derived from hemp, sisal, and wheat straw. The plastic was lighter than steel, yet could withstand 10 times the impact without denting.
Why wasn't it put out for production? Very simple. The steel companies, it will go out of business, and it was just one.
They didn't really give a fuck if you got into a car accident and killed yourself.
And it probably was too expensive to bring to market, so they just didn't bring it to market. But yeah, all right. Let's see. Forgot I wanted to play this before we go. This is pretty.
We got
funny.
Natty Ice in the house. What's up, Natty?
Hey. Thank you for coming. Make sure you give it a like, because right now we're like 20 likes. Let me see. 20, yeah. So or 19
scored his own
actually.
goal? What?
Yeah, this is George Bush with the Freudian slip here. So I found it pretty hilarious. Let's watch.
The result is an absence of checks and balances.
Remember, he's attacking Russia here for their invasion of Ukraine. That's the context of this.
I know what this is.
Yeah, that's the context of this.
In Russia, and the decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of Iraq.
Oops.
Ukraine.
Yeah.
Iraq. Anyway.
Iraq.
He went to Iraq, huh? And he totally skipped over Ukraine and went to Iraq.
Yeah, it's like a brutal invasion of Iraq. I
remember when Mike Preissner called out Bush in one of his speeches or meetings, whatever. But also Mike Preissner, there's a photo of him when he was with Hillary Clinton when he was a soldier. So
yeah,
interesting. And thank you, Natty, for the like. Explain to Jack about. Vince McMahon had a mustache, and it was like you're trying too hard, Vince. You're trying too hard. Okay.
And then
I don't know why an 80-year-old would want a mustache that was dyed the same color of his hair. I don't know why. Everyone knows that Vince McMahon has grays. Trust me, right? So he's trying to like look younger than he's supposedly trying to look. With dyeing his hair black. I mean jet black, and it didn't work. Vince, we know you're over 80. Okay.
And where the fuck is Shane McMahon? I mean, he's just...
I don't know.
Yes, this is President Nicolas Maduro. He talks about, how can I be a dictator? Anyway, Maduro refers to a long list of Latin American dictators and coup leaders that received U.S. training. So Pinochet, Anastasio Somoza Garcia, Anastasio Somoza Debatty, Alfredo Stasner, Jorge Rafael Vidilla, Roberto Virola, Leopoldo Atari, Emilio Masiria, Hugo Robla, it keeps going. All these Noriega, all these leaders in Latin America. So
everybody remembers Noriega.
¿Cómo voy a ser un dictador?
Si no me formé en la Escuela de las Américas, ni en Harvard. Yo no me formé en Langley, West Point, Escuela de las Américas ni Harvard.
They don't care.
Yo me formé.
Yeah, they don't care.
En los liceos de Caracas, en los barrios del Valle, 23 de enero, Katia, Propatria, El Cementerio.
This is an evil mustache.
¿Cómo voy a...
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, he didn't go to the School of the Americas, which is that famous school that taught you how to be a dictator.
It's basically all the elites. Basically, those are the people that they want to be dictators. They want to run the country. So if you went to Harvard, if you went to Stanford or all these elite schools, that's basically what they taught you.
All these people here are men that went to the School of Americas, which American government used to train dictators in Latin America, military dictators in particular. All their torture and their disappearance and their disappearing of citizens and all the horrible things that they did were trained by the U.S. to do so.
Yep.
So, but Maduro, he's a dictator, Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's definitely a dictator.
He sounds like he's just worried that, this is why I think he's bending over backwards and sucking the dick of Trump, is because he literally doesn't want to end up like, now I can't think of his name. Shit. But Libya, the guy from Libya.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gaddafi.
Gaddafi, yeah. He doesn't want to end up like Gaddafi. And I think he does genuinely care about his citizens. He doesn't want he doesn't want Venezuela to end up like Libya and have open slave markets. I think that's why, he's going to play the game. But here's the thing, Nicolas Maduro. Trump doesn't care. If you play the game or you don't play the game, you're still going to be, I have a feeling you're still going to get overrun. You're still going to act like, you're still going to be like Gaddafi. And look what happened to him.
Yeah, look what happened to Assad as well.
Yeah. So don't play the game. Defend your people. Defend yourself. God. Fuck Triple H.
Yeah.
Fuck him with this direction.
I wanted to play this while Snow was here, but I kind of forgot. So this is the AI speech from Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh, I think I saw it was one of them.
This kind of went viral. It's like, oh my god, this predicted it predicted exactly what our world is like today. In 2001, by the way. I played this game and passed it, and I saw this ending, and I'm like, this is Kojima lost his mind with this. This is ridiculous.
Don't forget, you also have to play as Naked Raiden.
Yeah. This is like I thought he was ridiculous with this, but it's like, oh my god. Today, look back on this.
What needs to get what?
Yeah, looking back on this, he's absolutely right. He somehow nailed the world we live in today. So blah blah blah.
We are formless. We are the very discipline and morality that Americans invoke so often. How can anyone
Oh,
hope
by the way, this is an AI talking. So these are AIs that are talking here.
AI
to
speech with
eliminate
images.
us? As long as this nation exists, so will we. Don't you know that our plans have your interests, not ours, in mind?
What? Jack, listen carefully, like a good boy.
In the current digitized world, trivial information is accumulating every second, preserved in all
Trivial
its
information.
triteness,
Look at that.
never
This
fading, always accessible.
Rumors about petty issues, misinterpretations, slander.
All this junk data, preserved in an unfiltered state, growing at an alarming rate.
It will only slow down social progress, reduce the rate of evolution.
Now that's look at that. The zombies looking at their phones. That's all we do now. It's like we just do this.
Remember Metal Gear Rising when or not Metal Gear Rising? One of the Metal
Not
Gear
me. I actually take time out and meditate.
one of the recent Metal Gear games that had zombies a few years ago. You know.
Yeah. It's just.
What we propose to do is not to control content, but to create context.
Create context?
The digital society furthers human flaws and selectively rewards development of convenient half-truths. The untested truths, spun by different interests, continue to churn and accumulate in the sandbox of political correctness and value systems.
Everyone withdraws into their own small gated community, afraid of a larger forum. They stay inside their little ponds, leaking whatever truth suits them into the growing cesspool of society at large.
We all do this. I mean, most people do this. We hide in our own little corner of the internet with people that agree with us, and we very rarely talk to anybody else. So it reinforces our own beliefs. You know, it's around and round and round we go, you know, in a circle.
The different cardinal truths neither clash nor mesh. No one is invalidated, but nobody is right.
Not even natural selection can take place here. The world is being engulfed in truth.
And this is the way the world ends, not with a bang, but a whimper.
We're trying to stop that from happening.
It's our responsibility as rulers. Just as in genetics,
Fake news.
unnecessary information and memory must be filtered out to stimulate the evolution of the species.
And you think you're qualified to decide what's necessary and not?
Yes.
Absolutely. Who else could wade through the sea of garbage you people produce, retrieve valuable truths, and even interpret their meaning for later generations?
That's what it means to create context.
I'll decide for myself what to believe and what to pass on.
But is that even your own idea?
Is that even your own idea?
Yeah, because I don't
Your
watch anything but indie.
Is that Markiplier?
Yeah. Your
It's a good thing
ideas
they don't
come
have
from
kid on
your,
there. I'd be pissed if they had kid on there.
or do your ideas come from your favorite influencers, which are
No.
you know these Joe Rogan.
I don't watch Joe
or-
Rogan. I hate Joe Rogan. Oh, Snow had something about that where Rogan has literally just, you know, basically made sheeple out of his fans.
Yeah, and now
But I will
he's like,
say, Kyle Kowinski has Joe Rogan syndrome right now, or derangement syndrome.
Ugh.
he's lost his mind.
Oh, what happened? Do you feel lost? Why not try a bit of soul searching?
Don't think you'll find anything, though.
That's the proof of your incompetence right there. You lack the qualifications to exercise free will. Should someone like that be able to decide what is truth?
Should someone like you even have the right to decide?
You've done nothing but abuse your freedom.
You don't deserve to be free.
We're not the
Yes, I
ones
do.
smothering the world. You are. The age of digitized communication has given even more power to the individual. Too much power for an immature species.
Now we think for you.
We are your guardians, after all.
You want to control human thought, human behavior?
Well, they will
Of
with
course,
people.
anything can be quantified nowadays.
You fell in love with me just as you were meant to, after all. Isn't that right, Jack?
So you see, you're a perfect representative of the masses we need to protect. Your persona, experiences, triumphs, and defeats are nothing but byproducts. The real objective was ensuring that we could generate and manipulate them. It's taken a lot of time and money, but it was well worth it considering the results.
right, that's that. You know,
Too
that's
bad.
your scoop.
I mean, too bad that hasn't worked for us. I get my news from Kit, from Indy, from, of course, Angel, who looks up all these articles and does his research. So I get my news from people I know are a good source because you guys do the time, you take the research, you do all that. And you don't use any of that shit.
Yeah, so it seems like Kojima was giving us a warning, not a ridiculous over the top plot the way I thought it was 25 years ago. So it's like, oh wow, I mean, it's like he was giving us a warning what was coming with society. But of course we don't listen because we're human and oh no, that's never gonna happen to us. Turns out it did, so I just want to. All right, let me see here. Anything
I
else?
agree, Jackie. Hey, we really gotta go.
Oh yeah, so
it's 9:19.
Right. Okay, yeah, so I think I'll just save that for next week then. Yeah, before we go, let me see, where is it? Yeah, let's
a couple of things, Angel. One for Sunday. Oops. Are you still having trouble scrolling up on the Twitter or the X messages?
Oh, I did it wrong. No, I haven't yet. I haven't had a problem with it now. I think that was an internet issue last week.
Yeah. And also because what is it? Because you were still I still see you lagging today. You might want to download videos just so that we get your connection for the videos on Sunday.
Okay, yeah, because
Hall of Fame, INN supporters Hall of Fame.
Yeah, so,
wow, look at all these people! Yay!
Yeah, so if you guys are able to donate to us at INN, we greatly appreciate it. We understand it's the holidays and there's money. You have to, to buy presents and stuff for you and your family. We understand that, but if you're able to donate, we have some links here for you. We greatly appreciate it. We have Cashapp.
Right, Anthony.
Cashapp / Indie News Network, Kofi.com/Indie News Network.
How are you 5 hours behind, Jack?
PayPal.me Indie News Network. You can donate at our website, indienewsnow.com, or in our Substack, join memberships at indiesnewsletter.com or indiemediatoday.com. So you want to be on the Wall of Fame, that's how you do it.
We're Eastern Standard Time. Alex is California, so he's Pacific. He's the only one.
Yeah, so we're all in the Eastern. So, if you missed the show, go back and watch from the beginning. Make sure you like if you haven't already, because we do need the likes. We're at, let me see before we go, 24 likes. So we probably won't get to 40 this week either, but, we're closing in on 30 again, which is appreciated. So
remember 40
likes. 40 likes. 40 likes.
Everyone wants a piece of Witchy, all right?
Yeah, they did.
This is Cowboy Kitty. Oh, hey, Cowboy, what's up?
Instead of Cowboy Kitty, they have the Anthony Molecki 8151, Natalie Williams. They took away our names. Yeah, instead we have our handles instead on YouTube, or Twitter or something. But so that'll do it for this week's episode because we do have to go. I mean,
yeah, you take care too, Jackie, and thank you so much for. Thank everybody for coming in. Like I said, please hit that like button because at 40, that's where Mrs. Witchy. Everyone wants Mrs. Witchy, right?
So we're gonna.
So please help us out. Like, share, subscribe. If you can donate, please donate. Angel.
Well, we'll see you Sunday at 7 for Pro Wrestling Talk. Because
Sunday at 7, and that's where we get to talk pro wrestling. I do have to take my son to see Santa Claus tomorrow, and maybe I'll have a picture or two. Let's see. I'll send them both to you two on DMs.
Okay.
Because, no offense, I just I'm very selective of who I show my son's face to.
Yeah, that's understandable these days. But, yeah, sounds good. We'll see you guys Sunday at 7 for Pro Wrestling Talk. We'll be back, Angel, in the afternoon.
Sunday at 7. We're going to talk pro wrestling.
Yeah, we're going to be back on Angel. We'll probably be previewing John Cena's last match on Saturday night's main event.
And I heard a rumor that Trump is coming, but Vince is not.
Yeah, I saw that Trump was going to
That's what I heard.
Yeah, that Trump's going to attend John Cena's final match against either Gunther.
And Vince isn't.
Against either Gunther or LA Knight. So we'll find out tonight.
I'm honestly rooting for Gunther because I don't want to see LA Knight lose again. It's like LA Knight's growing on me, and I can't. It's like, oh, he lost again.
Yeah, so we'll find out tonight. We'll find out tonight
LA
on
Knight,
SmackDown. So yeah, we'll talk about that Sunday. We'll also talk about Braun Breaker's breakout promo, on Raw, establishing themselves a main eventer. We'll also talk about TNA getting their TV deal with AMC. So,
And breaking
haven't
news:
unveiled who-
AEW might not be on the air much longer.
How come they haven't unveiled who
Amazon.
attacked CM Punk yet?
Oh, that was it has to be Seth Rollins. Has
yeah,
to be.
we don't know yet. That's a mystery still. So
I don't.
it'll probably be a
how could
mystery.
he only be injured for like what, a month or something? That would.
Because I don't think he was ever injured. I think they buffed it up again. They made it up.
Oh my god.
Mm.
Fool me once, shame on me. Shame on
Great job,
shame on you. Or whatever.
Genius story.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
I didn't believe it. I was saying I don't believe it because I thought he was going to screw Punk, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is like screwing Punk because if this person had gone after, if Seth Rollins had gone after anybody else, this masked person went after anybody else, I would have said maybe it's Theory, maybe it's Austin Theory, maybe it's Jericho. You never know. But no, he went after Punk. And we all know that Seth Rollins hates CM Punk.
No.
Right?
It's gonna be Adam Copeland.
Oh god.
Right, Cope.
Yeah.
Or no, what were they saying? John Moxley.
Oh.
John Moxley is still under contract with
There's no
AEW,
way.
you
Yeah.
idiots.
All right.
Where the
so
fuck did you get John Moxley?
We'll preview Saturday night's main event as well. Hopefully, we only have an hour, so we have to get through all that much as we can. But yeah, other than that, Angel in the Afternoon is next Friday at 7. Pro Wrestling Talk will be 7 again the Sunday after that because we got to watch John Cena's final match. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then, we'll be back on Saturday right before Christmas. So the 20th, I believe that is. So,
Yep.
So make sure you check that all out. Angel in the Afternoon is going to be on schedule
Oh
at 7
yeah.
o'clock.
Also, didn't you say we were gonna do a GTA 6 episode this month?
You got to stick that in there somewhere too.
Yeah, but our Sundays are kind of full. December's pretty full because we got to do Pro Wrestling Talk on Sunday.
Not to mention, I got to get Angel back on my show as well.
Yeah, at some point.
Any day during the week. It doesn't have to be a Sunday. So.
All right, but yeah, I mean, I'll try to stick it in there somehow. We'll see. I got to talk to Snow
I
and
hope
Crab and
that WWE, please, WWE, come here. Listen, figure out what you're going to do with your library, and you better fucking keep your library because I want to watch old wrestling. It gives me a palate cleanser.
Yeah, I think
I love WWE. I love WWE.
It'll most likely end up on Netflix. That's what I've been reading. Because Netflix.
Yeah, that's what they kind of been eyeing it. Like wink, eyeing it. I mean, I have Netflix. I use my neighbors. Shh, don't tell anybody.
We got to do Angel, you and I, and probably a Dave.
I know. Yeah. That too. So.
And I get to watch Saturday night's main event with Angel. This is fucking cool. Like we can literally, like he sends me, and Indy was on saying like, "Oh, this is how we watch UFC." I went, "Really?"
Yeah,
so
that's on Discord. Yeah, we can do it on Discord or
By the way,
Restream.
get ready
whatever.
for the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that's next month. Yeah,
that.
I think. So yeah,
in February of all fucking places. It's January. It's always been January. Why are you fucking it up? This is a no-brainer, right?
And then WrestleMania 43 in
43, yeah.
It's in Saudi,
and they're like, oh, Seth Rollins is going to make he isn't ruling it out that he's going, oh, just stop it. Just stop it with the bullshit. We all know Seth Rollins is going to come back before 43.
So, yeah, we'll just leave it there. We did all the promoting. Tuesday night is Indie Now Live at 10. Wednesday is INN News. Thursday, Indie does a combination of Jesse Jett's show, American Tradition, Indie Tech Tips, what he did last night. Nobody Wants to Work Anymore with Indie and Snow, who was just on, and Indie One-on-One. We does interviews. So, and Friday, of course, is me with Witchy and Alex, Angel in the Afternoon, and Saturday would be Pro Wrestling Talk, but Sunday in the next few weeks. So that's all. That's our schedule. Thank you very much